What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It's 9:30 Wednesday night, and we know it is that time for that cause because the cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Want to give a shout out right off the bat to this group of young ladies behind me over my shoulder. Last night, went to Powell. Um, you know, could have really just maybe just I don't know. They could have just said, well, we're still licking our wounds from the Bearden loss a couple of days ago in the district championship. No, you know what they did? They took care of business because they wanted one more shot at Bearden. And last night, the Lady Rebels took care of business 2-0 at Powell. And Bearden took care of business, got some vengeance on Oak Ridge, one of their losses this year, a rare rarity for Bearden girls soccer. They won 4-0. So it is setting it up tomorrow night at Bearden High School. I will be there to support the girls, and I hope that everybody watching or watches this has a stake in it that supports our Lady Rebels as they go for part 3. I said that this is going to be a 4-part matchup. These two teams are going to meet up again in state. No disrespect to the teams that are playing. They could meet in the state sectionals, whether they're hosting or going to have to travel. But the truth of the matter is that these two teams are on a collision course to meet for a 4th time, and it could be for a state title. So, I'm not a soothsayer by any means, but that's what I've predicted, and I'm going to keep it going with it. But I want to give a shout out to Coach Roberto Castro, his staff, and all the girls on the team. Congratulations, ladies. A special season. Best record in West history from what I can remember. And honestly, you just keep doing your thing. Make history tomorrow night. Get that region championship. And, this time, go take it to them at their place, just like they took it to us last week. So it's all a whole new game. Forget about last week. Go get it done tomorrow night. So I want to get that started right off the bat with the West Lady Rebels. Going to be there tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Root them on at Bearden Stadium there. I believe admission is going to be $6, even if it's 10. Go root them on, baby. Get them, give them the love and support they deserve, honestly. Football team, if you're done with that spaghetti dinner, get over there to Bearden High School. Let's root them on together. Let's do it together. Let's get them up. So that being said, though, want to also just right off the bat go thank you for those that are supporting the Rebels with a Cause channel. 117 subscribers, over 11,000 views. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We appreciate it. Even if you watch the shows just for a few minutes, any like button that you give us, the analytics is ginormous. It generates more things. It pushes our show for other viewers to catch it. And, we just don't cover the high school. We cover the college. We cover the pro. We cover all sports. So, definitely continue to do that. Spread the love, spread that cause, because we all know that cause don't stop when that clock hits zero. Also got some housekeeping out of the way. Views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. This is solely the RWAC Crew's views and opinions, as well as the panel when we have guest panelists on. Also, if be sure to get on that chat box tonight. We want to hear from you. This is as much as your show as it is ours. What do you want to talk about? A lot of upsets last week in college football, some atrocious NFL football. You want to talk some high school football? We got it all. NBA started officially last night. All the rest of the teams playing tonight. Cooper Flack, #1 pick, probably about to tip off right now as the Spurs and the Mavericks throwing down here. I know that Cavs-Knicks game was finishing up as part of that doubleheader on ESPN, but, we could talk that. College basketball was in full swing. I was kind of keeping a peek at Duke last night, and they looked really good. Carlos Boozer's son had 33 points. Going to get to see him live and up close, along with his twin brother, in the preseason ranked 5 or 6 Duke Blue Devils Sunday night. 24,000 capacity for a preseason game, guys. That's how exciting Tennessee men's basketball is right now. And obviously, it's not every day that the Duke Blue Devils show up, coming off of their Final Four appearance last year and have another loaded roster. What's up, Coach? How you doing, Shane McGee? Shane's got a little bit of a little under the weather from all the hours he's working, but hey, he's working. He's happy. He's got that money flowing in. That's a rebel with a cause, baby. That's what it is. Just like those ladies behind me, rebels with a cause. Honestly, glad to have it, brother. Glad to have it. Also, just want to make sure that we get our sponsors some love. Listen, Miss Kim Castle, if you want the royal treatment, and listen, it don't have to be just about that, you go there, maybe you're not a manicure or a pedicure guy, but maybe you might want to try it and just change it. Just check it out. Honestly, you never know. But honestly, haircuts, beard trims, 2 tasty beverages, $5 off for a style cut here the month of October. Let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you. Maybe even get you a little bit more of a discount. Let them know that and Stallion sent you. Also, getting cool outside, and you know what time it is. It's time for coffee's good any time of the year. But let me tell you something. When Alex Thatcher, a class of 2003 grad, has it brewing, there's a lot of love there. That's another rebel with a cause. They're out in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. Go pay them a visit. Let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. I know that he'd appreciate it, and that brew is definitely good as these temperatures get super chilly. I think it's supposed to be 39 in the morning. Yikes. Also, if you want that traditional cut, go see Josh Finker Corey over at Razor Shop Barbershop of Knoxville. Let them know that Two Pair Tate 332 Studios and the Italian Stallion and the RWAC Crew sent you. And speaking of that 332 Studios, make sure you're following them. They're our sister network, Big Fact Sports Network, doing some great things. Again, these are all my new show debuted on Sunday night. This week is going to be a little bit later on. I'm not expecting anybody to join in because I'll be coming late from that Duke Tennessee game, but I'm still going to have a show, talk about what I saw that night, as well as the football over the weekend and so forth, just like I did last weekend. But usually is on from 8:30 to 9:30, but I think probably going to go probably 10 to 11 next this Sunday for one night only, and then we'll go back to the regular schedule. But want to thank everybody that viewed it. Over 50 views so far, and again, we've got some other shows that are going to be in the works that are going to be coming on different nights on the channel, and we hope that you support those shows as well, because they're going to be talking about all sorts of things. And as we continue to expand the Rebels with a Cause channel, it's going to be more exciting, more in intuition content for you guys, and definitely you be a part of it. We got some great ideas, and these guys are working hard, and definitely going to be given their stuff right off the bat. But I wanted to get that housekeeping out of the way there and so forth. But that being said, there it is right there, 60 to 70 hours a week right now. Gotta listen. That account was depleted. You got to raise it back up. That's a rebel with a cause, people. That's what it's called. That's hard work. That's work. So, my thoughts on some people that say they're working when we get to talking some football later. That being said, don't know who's going to be on my panel tonight, but I do know I got an OG with me right now in the backstage. So glad to have him on here. He has been my guy, being my spotter as I've done the stats this year for West Football. We've had some fun. We're done with the road games. We're going to go somewhere in the playoffs. We know that much and so forth. It's just a question of where. We're going to talk about that. But let me tell you this: when you know he's there, game, and it's still a big game when he shows up. So show him the love and support he deserves. Throw him up that W, the one, the only, Mr. Big Game, Kerry Reeves. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, everybody? Good evening. How's he doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great, especially with these ladies back there. They took care of business against Powell. No offense, but anytime it's a big win over Powell, they don't like us. We don't like
Exactly.
them. In any sport, it counts, baby.
That's a great win, man.
Yep,
Great for those ladies.
and the girls to come off of the heartbreak and maybe a little disappointment there against Bearden. I know that they thought that they could do a better showing than that. We know they can do a better showing than that. They wanted to prove something last night, and they wanted another shot at Bearden, and damn it, they're going to get it tomorrow night, Thursday night at Bearden Soccer Stadium. They get their own soccer stadium. You know you're big time when you got your own soccer stadium, and
I
you
was
don't
there
even
when
have you
I
have to
was
check the
there when they
football.
made it. And I was there when they christened it and everything, man. It's very nice. It's right off to the side for the football. Doesn't interfere with football or anything else. It's its own little area. It's really cool.
Yeah, right behind that downtown West
Yep.
shopping center over there. So,
Hmm.
yeah, where the old Kyoto used to be,
Yep.
the Japanese
The
place. So,
Japanese.
now it's the place where you go vote. So, whatever. But
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
well, big game, Kerry Reeves. Let me ask you this, brother. There was a lot going on in football. I'm going to get it started right off the bat and so forth. I know Shane has got an early morning and didn't sleep that well, but I want to get his thoughts also in the comment box. But, we had so many stories we could start off with, but the one that had kind of been hinted at over the weekend finally became official, unfortunately, today. They even broke daily shows.
Yeah.
Rick Russo for Channel 8, deservedly so, broke in to programming about this unfortunate news. We're just grateful that we had the experience of this gentleman as our coach. What
Hmm.
he has done for Vols baseball, he's taken it to heights that were never seen before. And honestly, I think, hey, listen, let me tell you something. He's going to come on and talk about it for a few minutes. Give him the love and support that he deserves. Our resident coach, Coach's Corner, the one, the only. Here comes the money. Shane
Money.
O'Mac, Shane McGee, what's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm exhausted, but
Yes,
today
you
is a
are.
sad day on Rocky Top, and baseball's literally my second favorite sport.
Yep.
And after yesterday, I wasn't sure which way it was going to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think you're
Well,
in the same boat with a lot of people because for days we didn't know. We thought I personally have seen the longer it goes, the more likely he stays.
Yep,
But he broke the news this morning to his team,
yep,
and that's when it all started breaking loose after all that.
yep.
this had
Oh,
to be a tough decision,
be
Shane.
right
Before
back.
you
Give me
get,
one second.
yeah,
Hmm.
One second.
absolutely, absolutely. This had to be a tough decision for him. If you think about this, I mean, look what he's done. He's got the #1 recruiting class coming in. He's got
Hmm.
they had a very good season last year, despite it may not have gone the way that they wanted it to. They got to a super regional, and you got to think there's
Again.
so many teams that have to that have a standard to try to make it to Omaha, and they were on the cusp of a game 3. You know what I mean? And so it won a championship, the first World Series in Tennessee history, first team to ever make 60 games. Did something that hadn't been done by a college baseball team since the Miami Hurricanes in 2001. I mean,
Hmm.
he had done some amazing things. And like what we talked about, Kerry, off screen, and Shane, you and I have mentioned this before, if it wasn't for the pandemic year, that Tennessee loaded team could have maybe made some noise in Omaha if it hadn't been
Hmm.
I
canceled
think,
because of
I
that
think that
pandemic.
was probably the best team he had.
Yeah, we discussed that. I thought that 2020 team was better than the one that won the title. He
Yep.
could have had two. He could have had two of them very easily. But I mean, I'm telling you, when you
But
leave,
my fear is, I hope he does great at
Mhm.
in San Francisco. I'm now officially a Giants fan as long as Tony V is there.
hmm
But my fear is that in 2 years we see him back in the SEC at Arkansas.
yeah, because
Mm,
Van Horn will retire in a couple of
Yep,
years. I could
yep,
see that happening.
yep,
that is my fear.
yep,
Or he could be anywhere. The second he becomes available, if this thing doesn't work out in the majors, he'll have a job in 15 minutes.
yep.
He's that qualified. I mean, anywhere in college baseball in 15
Hell,
minutes, he'll have
ESPN
a
might
job.
even hire him to
Yes,
do Sunday Night
exactly.
Baseball because he's so
He
charismatic
already
and a
does
good-looking guy.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
He was already doing commentary at the MLB draft
he
Yep.
for the
was.
So
last
there's a
what, three,
possibility
four
he could go.
seasons.
I could see him going into TV because he's got that charismatic personality, draws people to. I could see that easily too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be successful. I mean, obviously, the big news is this. And correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, because you're a bigger baseball fan than I am. But let me just ask you this: they say here, this is history, that no college coach has gone straight to the pros as a
He is
skipper.
the
And
first
He's
coach
the first.
ever.
would I be correct in saying that maybe coaches have jumped to the major leagues, but as an assistant, not
Yeah.
like, and then
Yes.
they got promoted
What, like
after being like an
you're a
assistant?
batting coach, you're a
Yeah,
scout, you're a
You're a
pitching
first base
coach.
pitching
coach. You're a
coach.
first base coach. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
bit.
you don't ever go from college baseball manager of a college baseball team to manager of a pro team.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
doesn't happen that
It
way.
I mean,
does
they
not
might even
happen.
make somebody like a minor league coach, like for a
Yeah,
triple A team
easily.
or
Yeah,
something. Before
he
something like
skipped
that.
every step
Wow.
of the majors, through all the minor league to
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
And that's partially, there was another bit of news that came out of college baseball today. The Florida coach, Kevin O'Sullivan, has taken a leave of absence from the Gators to deal with mental health issues and some personal issues.
Let me just tell you this.
So
That
they're
whole organization, sorry to cut you off, Kerry, is a dumpster fire right
yeah,
now.
something
I
about
mean,
except for the basketball.
yeah.
Except for men's basketball.
Hey, I hope that I don't hope, but I mean, I'm just saying, I hope that they're not disappointed that they put all that eggs in that basket because my God, I mean, it's not going to be the same team. Yes, they're
No.
preseason number 3. The coaches poll got released earlier today. A
Mhm.
little bit of differences from the AP poll. I have that ticker down below, by the way, but obviously, I want to talk a few more minutes about this, Shane, because I know that you're passionate about the Tennessee baseball. Here's my fear, guys. If I can just say this. They do not need to mess this hire up. I know that they're going to do a search, like
Yep.
Kerry, what we all talked about in our private chat, that they're going to do a search. But at the same time, if the answer is there that they can make a good hire, maybe salvage this recruiting class to not let it go everywhere else. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel that they might need to make a decision here that benefits them. Number one, but number two, what I really want more than anything is that it doesn't become where Carrie, you and me could just call each other up and go, "Hey, man, what are you doing today?" You know what? I'm not doing anything. You know, it's a nice day. You want to go catch the game 3 of the SEC game, the weekend series that the Vols have, and then basically we just walk in because it's not the toughest ticket in town anymore, like it was with the Todd Raleigh years. You could
Yeah.
walk in, and sit wherever you wanted. And what Tony Vitello has done for Tennessee baseball, it's the toughest ticket in town, honestly. I mean, so, but that's my fear, that they don't make a good hire. And in a couple of years, not only is Shane worried about having to play Tony Vitello, I'm afraid that nobody's going to show up to these games anymore. So
The
I
hire
think
is
the national search is a good. I think the national search is a good idea, but I really believe there's a reason why he named Anderson the interim coach and let Erlanger is still a coaching on the team, but he's still being a part of the interviewing process. I think the answer is there with Erlander, but I also believe that that the player and they quoted that the players are going to get a say in this, and I think that's huge. I think that's huge that the players get a say in this deal. Plus, when I look at it this way, Danny White really hasn't made a bad decision yet. That's why I have faith that Danny White will make a great decision. I mean, every decision he's made so far has really worked out well. Heupel's worked out well. Ken Caldwell has worked out well to the point that they're a top 5. First women's poll came out, they're number 4 preseason.
not bad for her second year.
Who saw that in the second year? Just being up that high with the UConns, with South Carolina, with those guys.
And she's not going to be pregnant this year when she coaches,
Exactly.
I mean, so yeah. But Shane, what is your thoughts? But I mean, though, you mentioned your fear, but what do you think about this coaching search? Who it needs to be? What are the expectations now of this program? So now that Vitello's gone,
The expectations are to keep your recruiting class intact.
Yep.
You've got the top recruiting class. If you poll every single former baseball player that played under Vitello, there's only one person they won't lead in this program now, and that's Elander.
Yep.
That's the hire. You pay him what you paid Tony. Plain and simple. Maybe a little less. You give Frank Anderson a raise. You got the best pitching coach and the best hitting coach who's led this offense. That's your coach.
Well, Chris Burke, former Val, came out and said that he said Erlander should be the guy for the job. He understands everything, but his support is with Erlander. And they'll ask a lot of they'll ask a lot of those guys, the current guys and the former.
If you go on Twitter right now, every major former player that loves this program is saying it's Elander.
Yep.
That's who they want.
And I can see that happening.
Wow.
But they have to do due process and everything by federal law and everything. They have to do due process.
Yep.
Damn state jobs.
Yep.
Now here's the thing. Had this happened in January, you could name Erlander right then and there and be done with it because the season starts in February. No one's going to do a search at that time, but because it's November and you've got time, which I don't think the search is going to go very long. I see this going about maybe a week, maybe two, for the simple reason that there's a list of candidates. They're not going to interview every single one, but there's like a list of 6 to 8 that they'll interview. But I think, and Erlander's going to be one of them, and I think he's the one that's going to end up getting the job.
Can I ask a question without knowing who these names could be potentially on this list? And I'm not going to even pretend like I know who the big dogs are and who aren't, but because this is more your all stuff than me. But what I do want to ask is this. Is there somebody right now at a major program that would make the lateral job because of what they would be inheriting at Tennessee? Or is it going to be somebody that is like at one of these schools that's like a pain in the ass 3 or 4 seed that makes some noise in the regionals, that sometimes makes it to the regionals, that's ready to make that big jump? Is that what you're looking at for a coach? I mean, I'm just saying, is that what would be on the search if they don't go this no-brainer, if they want to go this other route? Is that the way they're looking or what at this point? Who's interested in this job, you think?
I think a lot of people will be interested in this job. This is a top 3 job. That's all I've heard all afternoon. Major League Network saying this is a top 3 job in college.
This is a top three job. It's not number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, this is a big time job. That's what Tony Vitello has done for Tennessee baseball.
Well, the facilities are second to none.
You've got,
obviously,
you've got a lot to attract them. A great roster.
You got a hungry fan base that loves to travel and watch. So,
and you got a stadium that's just about completely renovated, over $120 million in that stadium that's just about renovated. Yeah. You've got all of those things as a great attraction. And the other sports on campus. Look how well the other sports are doing. You can become a fan of the other sports real quick. You're going to see Rick Barnes at your games. You're going to see Heupel at your game because they've gone to the baseball games before. Kim Caldwell's taking her kid to the baseball games. You'll see it. They're all over campus. You'll be a part of not just a baseball program. You're going to be part of one of the best universities and campuses in the country.
Absolutely.
You're going to be seen.
I've been to almost every sporting event at UT.
I've worked just about every sporting event over
as a fan. The baseball games are probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
It's just I'll choose a baseball game over a football game, and I love football. Football's my number 1 sport. But there's something about being out there watching those games. It's just magical.
Yep. Well, when I was a student at UT and I was covering the team for TVC News when I was starting my broadcasting career, and Delmonico was there, they played some good ball back then,
Yes, they did.
And honestly, I would love going on a Friday afternoon and setting up my camera on the tripod and just catch a 9 inning of baseball, and I'd get some highlights for the on-campus news. So
I love doing Tennessee baseball. I would be there when there's either 2,000 people or 200 people. It was a lot of fun. And still,
I remember when you could get tickets for free.
Yep,
behind home plate. Just
I would call
my tickets.
Yep, I would call my friends. If one of the boosters would give me a couple tickets here and there, I'd call my friends, say, "Hey, how should I come to a baseball game? You got seats right behind home plate." They came, boom, there you go.
Yeah, Keegan does remember, but his first game, he was a couple months old.
Yep,
and we were maybe 6-7 rows up from behind home plate.
The only name.
Real quick, guys, I got somebody that wants to jump on because I know he wants to join the discussion. He's here, and I've actually not talked any high school or anything like that, so I saved that for you as well, Two-Pair, because I know that you want to come on. But let me just tell you something, guys. Here we go. It's about to get real. All right, he did 3 shows with me last week. Hardest working guy. Needs no introduction, but show him that love. The original co-founder of the show, Mr. 2003 West, the voice of the Running Rebels and Lady Rebels, and now the Panthers and Lady Panthers, 20 years and now the 2nd year respectively. My favorite Seminole, the one, the only. I hope he's off mute so we can bring it loud, baby. Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate, what is up, baby?
Well, guys, we just got done filming. So I just got done filming. I said I was gonna hop on here about 10 o'clock. James, always a pleasure, man. 3 shows in 1 week. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
And then I did a
Um,
fourth. I debuted Stallion Speaks on Sunday night to 50 viewers with Larry Frank. He was helping me out to get it
hey
started. So,
man, it's
yep.
it's like consistency. Consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to my man Shane. I love the jersey. I love the hat combination.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Kerry, hey man, if there's a big game, I can't wait. I can't wait to see my man Kerry. Um,
You know it, man.
uh, I started looking at some stuff. When you look at Tony's resume in a short time at the University of Tennessee, it's unprecedented what he's done,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you brought a team a national championship that hadn't been to the mountaintop,
Yep.
Correct.
you know, and the way you've done it with the amount of talent, like you turned Tennessee into a baseball school.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about UT baseball if it wasn't Bubba Trammell, Luke Holshaver,
Todd
Mike
Helton.
DeFelice.
Chris Burke,
Todd
Todd
Helton.
Helton.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like,
RJ Dickey.
RJ
R.A.
Dickey.
yeah,
Dick. R.A.
R.A.
Dickey.
Dickey.
R.A.
Yep.
Dickey.
Scott Schruffel. Chris Freeman. Yep.
Yep.
You weren't caring about UT baseball unless you were naming those guys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That Delmonico era was we thought that was as good as it could get,
Nah.
right? Did we not? Did we think
Yep.
we thought, man, we reached heights. Then from the Delmonico era, you go into the Todd Raleigh era,
Which was horrendous.
which was
Atrocious baseball.
horrendous.
Couldn't
Rock
even get any.
bottom.
They couldn't give those tickets away. Two pair. You and me could have walked from study hall in humanities to go catch a game, and they wouldn't have even checked our ID cards if we were actually students or not.
Bring a
No,
can
Rock
of
bottom.
food. Get to a game.
no, nobody was. And
It was
and,
that
and
bad.
I'm gonna say this because I I, I want to say, Serrano, Coach Serrano was an incredible guy.
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
man.
Incredible guy. It was Tennessee was just in a place where we needed Serrano to get the vital. Like we needed that.
Yeah.
Well, even today on Twitter, Serrano congratulated Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it
But you're
was
right.
like
We
we had to
needed
go through
him.
that.
We needed him to get the
And
Vitello. He cleaned out all the junk. Serrano did all that. He cleaned out the badness and the junk and gave
Serrano
Vitello a
walked
clean
so
state.
Tony could run.
Yep. Exactly.
yeah, and that was the thing that like I really wanted to point out because I don't think Coach Serrano gets um a lot of
Enough
the
credit.
praise. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you didn't get Serrano, you don't get the Vitello
Yep.
But yeah, I completely agree.
I agree.
because
How many college World Series did Serrano get?
None.
none.
No,
Not with us. No. Oh,
not.
when he was with the other team.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about
Oh,
yeah,
he had
yeah,
before.
3. I think he had 3 or 4. He
That's
was
yeah,
on
yeah,
Fresno.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cal
yeah.
State Fullerton.
Cal
Cal
State
State
Fullerton.
Fullerton. Yeah, the Titans. I
And
mean,
they
it's
were
Man,
a and they were
him being
serious baseball
a
power.
championship winning coach is what was able to get us those better players here.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Tony just, man, we
Tony
saw
took
what
it
he
to
did.
I think
Tony took it to
Serrano
a
would have been
stratosphere.
unbelievable if he would have had this like type of the NIL and the
Yeah.
all that stuff. Now
Yeah,
that I mean, I
yeah.
just think it was just bad timing. That was the only thing with
I
Mm-hmm.
Serrano.
really
So
and
yeah,
I'm glad you said that because I look at that Serrano era to now and I look at what Vitello was able to do. And Tennessee played a brand of baseball that became their own.
Yep.
correct.
Like it was in your face, it was brass, it was aggressive, it's getting up on counts on the pitcher. Like they just the way they played during that championship run. But they had already been setting the tone.
Mhm.
They've been
That's
setting
what.
the tone.
That's why this hire is important because the edge that we have, where we let the
Wonderful.
players be who they are,
Mhm.
you take that away from what Tennessee has become. You don't get those players anymore.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No, you
this
don't.
hire is very, very important. That's why I believe it needs to be the in-house hire.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Well,
think it will be.
I'm gonna tell you this, guys. We're gonna continue to talk about. We've got a loaded show tonight. We've got a hop and chat box too tonight as well that have a lot to talk about. And I think we can transition because obviously we were disappointed with Saturday. I had a shitty weekend of football, guys. I'm just going to admit it. Two pair,
Mm.
you weren't much better. I know that much. First off, the big storylines in football, and I couldn't even fit it all there. But you got some big time matchups this week. Let me go back to the week 8 results, by the way. If you didn't watch Stallion Speaks on Sunday, I absolutely hammered the Miami Hurricanes as well as the state of Florida of football right now. The
Mm.
fact that you have South Florida as the torchbearer to get to the college football playoff, if they take care of business against Memphis, I know they got some other games, but if they handle Memphis, which that's another story in itself of what happened to them last week is unbelievable. But
Mhm.
the point of the matter is that if you were to tell me before the year that South Florida is going to be the team from Florida that represents the state of Florida of college football, a tradition when these three teams used to dictate who would win a national championship, and not any of the three are looking like they're anywhere close to it. And one of them fired their coach as Billy Boy Napier was shown the door. And then
Quick.
Norvell, not the one from Florida State, the one from Colorado State was shown the door.
Mhm.
But not
Mhm.
24 hours after that decision was made, guys, the Florida State athletic director has to put a vote of confidence behind Norvell. And the truth of the matter is, and some of these big pundit media guys said they just didn't have the money to do it, to get who they possibly wanted. And now they've got to relook at everything. And two pair, not to troll, Florida State has now not won an ACC game in almost 400 days. It's like the
It,
opposite of the Roman Reigns,
Yep.
like
and
what Larry Frank said, honestly, on
I
Sunday
think
night.
Since
that
they were
Virginia
14 and 0, since they were 13 and 0 in 2020 when they were left out of the playoff, they've not won an ACC game since.
Oh,
that's
yep.
crazy.
Yep. Yep.
That's nuts.
Yep, yep. Yeah, fire Mario Cristobal. Yes, absolutely. A buffoon right there, 9.5 million. I went off on him on Sunday, and the stuff
Mm.
that has come out since our show on Sunday, players pretty much quitting. This thing is about to implode. The only
Mhm.
reason that Miami's not going to lose 3 games in a row like they traditionally do when a mishap like that happens with the Candy Canes is because they're Stanford. And I still don't understand how Stanford beat Florida State the other on Saturday night. I think it's because Castellanos got hurt. I think if Castellanos doesn't get knocked out of the game on that dirty
Castellano
hit,
plays that
I
game though,
think
doesn't
Florida
he?
State pulls it out. But
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
me. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of things with the Seminoles, they just haven't been able to shake that Virginia game. I think that loss just showed a lot of things that were going to be exposed if they played anybody else,
Yep.
and they came to fruition, and you're seeing it in real time.
Yep. Oh
You're
yeah.
seeing it in real time. Like it's a bad football team.
Well, guys, can I also say this before, and I want everybody to chime in on this? The fact that we're talking about South Florida and Vanderbilt, like, let's say this was it. Them two teams would be in the playoffs. Miami would only be in there right now because of them being number 9 as an at large. But the fact that you have South Florida and Vanderbilt as locks right now, with Miami and Tennessee on the outside looking in, just it's unbelievable, guys. I don't know what to make of it
And,
right now.
and let me say this: I never thought I'd say this, but if Diego Pavia wins a Heisman Trophy or even gets in consideration before there's anyone from the University of Tennessee to ever win one, I don't know how much. I don't know how I would take that.
Oh,
Oh
there'll be
yeah.
a riot.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
think about that. Think to yourselves. We are in a state of college football where a guy who, if he gets on a run, Like let's just say they won out.
Mm-hmm.
If they won out, he's got people in this world that think he's the best player in college football.
Right now, Vanderbilt's toughest game left is against us whenever that game time is announced the day after Thanksgiving. Right
Mm.
now,
Yep.
in my
They got
opinion.
their schedule's just way too easy.
No,
Yeah.
I mean Texas. I mean Texas should have lost to
Well,
Kentucky last week,
they go to
guys.
Texas in 2 weeks,
Yeah,
so
and
that'll be interesting.
I think they blow out Texas.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
I
they
think
blow
I
out
mean,
Texas
it
Texas.
was a
sucks.
game last year.
We thought they were going to beat Bama, and they made mistakes. That's
That's
one
true
thing they
also.
are prone to,
That's
just
true.
like we are.
Yep.
We lost 2 games because we lost them. It
Yeah.
wasn't Alabama and Georgia that beat us. We beat us.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The players are taking responsibility for that too. Like there's like
Yes, they are.
they felt that they aren't better than us. We
Mhm.
beat ourselves.
We beat
Yeah.
ourselves. That
Chris
Well, I'm
Kane
glad
for
that team's
life.
taking ownership.
Chris Kane for
Yep.
life writes Mario beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe and lost to Stanford in the same damn year. Yep. Like I
Yep.
said,
Mm.
it's not the big games you got to worry about
It's
with
the
him.
little
It's the
ones.
little ones that are just completely unprepared.
And where is that
Yeah.
Stanford game? Is it in Miami?
It is in Miami.
Oh,
That's
that would
why.
be even more
Well,
embarrassing.
well, you know what the crazy thing is I looked at the line, guys. It's 29.5 points. And I was just like,
Wow.
I mean,
I'm
I
taking
wouldn't.
Stanford. I take
I mean,
Stanford in the
yeah,
points.
and again, you don't know this the stuff that's come out this week, and some guys using social media. There's more that's come out about this car accident that happened in the offseason and why a stud
Mhm.
wide receiver is not playing because he tested positive for weed. It's just not a good
Mm.
look
Oh,
right now.
wow.
And when you're winning, these things masquerade. But when the bottom falls out of the barrel, and then not to just take it, not just to put it all on Miami. There were several teams last week that lost. No one was more embarrassing than Memphis to lose to UAB after they fired Dilfer. I don't know what the hell
Man,
happened
I don't
there.
even know how
And what a
that one was confusing.
Yeah.
That one
and what a
confused me.
story in that game. And to
Yeah,
me, the
well,
story of that game was the interim coach of UAB. Or if you remember Chris Mortensen, the fake great NFL reporter for ESPN, that
Yeah,
was
the
his son,
son.
Alex, who's the interim head coach.
can you imagine?
Chris
Wow.
Berman was there at the game Saturday with his family
Oh,
to
that's
show
awesome.
support for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he said his dad, and he just thought about his dad the whole time, and it was amazing. And the players knew carrying him, winning this game, the players won it for him. They hate Memphis. That's a big rivalry, UAB and Memphis. That goes back quite a ways back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep,
was
it
glad
does.
UAB's got a team again.
Yeah, I'm happy they
After
are
what
too.
the Alabama boosters tried to do.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was pretty rough. That was
And they
dirty stuff right
and
there.
they call us low down and dirty. They are the inventors. Alabama is the inventors of low down and dirty. They
Well,
are the inventors.
they are. Larry says Stanford covers. He also their show tomorrow night. You talk. They're going to try to hype up the Stanford show, and it almost seems like it's going to be a funeral. Tomorrow night on You Talk. I'm covering all that tomorrow night. But here's the other thing Larry asked, and I think it's a fair point. Did Mario coach Tennessee too with all the self-inflicted coaching
Yep.
blunders? I've never seen a game be given to Alabama where I thought that we were the better team. Maybe the score wasn't indicative of that, but damn it, I mean, if you don't
That
turn the ball over, you win that
that
game.
goal line play, there's only one
Yep.
passing play you can call out of that situation, and they ran it.
Yep.
Mm.
That corner sat there and watched that play. He knew where it was going, when it was going to be thrown. Even if it had been thrown only where our player could have caught it, he still would have jumped the route.
Yep.
They're,
And
they're,
what's so
they're,
bad
they're,
about if you go back and look at that play, if Joey looks to his left, Kitzelman was open
Yeah.
right in the back of the end zone.
Yeah. Well, my
He
thing
was
is
wide
this, guys. This is my
you
thing
put
too.
you put it in Deshaun's hands and let him run it in. That
Yep.
was the freaking Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl
Yep.
where they didn't want Marshawn
Marshawn
being the.
Lynch to
Yeah.
win the MVP.
Yep. Well,
That's what that play was.
Can I throw this out there too, guys? And what have I been harping on all season long, even in the preseason when it came to Tennessee? Their offensive line, I felt, was good enough. You were already out rushing Alabama. Alabama doesn't have a rushing game. And,
Nope.
you're mano-y-mano right there on the 1 or 2 yard line. push their ass off the ball and throw it in
Exactly.
there, right in there, honestly, and if you don't make the points, then that's fine. But I would rather take a 0 for either team than to give up a pick 6 that actually ended up being 7 with the extra point, man.
And I think the safety was a big play too, because
horrible.
the play before that, it was a horrible pass interference call that really wasn't pass interference. They called Staley for pass interference on a catch to buzzer, which in reality did not look like pass interference at all. That put, instead of a first down and 10 from the 35, they get pushed back to the 9, and that's when the safety happens.
Yeah.
Look at Larry, breaking
Those 9
news.
points.
LSU's also come out, just like Florida State, and said that their buyout's too large to fire. They're stuck with Brian Kelly right now.
Remember, because they paid Orgeron $30 million.
Absolutely.
There's got to be something there where they can show calls.
Yeah. They're going to try. They're going to try to do a show. They're going to try
because
medical malpractice with a player's health.
Yep. That could be show cause. That could be just cause.
Yep.
And they're going to get ran this weekend. They got Texas A&M, and that's not going to be pretty, dog.
No.
That's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and even though the game's at LSU, I really don't have any fear for A&M. I mean, I'll tell you this: I thought that that A&M Arkansas game was going to be close, especially with how Arkansas played Tennessee. You look at how that game played out. 45-42 was the final, and it's a rivalry. They used to be a part of the old Southwest Conference. A lot of those same players played against each other in high school. The East Texas, West Arkansas thing, and so forth. So so it's a rivalry game, and Petrino. Maybe the games don't show it. This Arkansas team looks a lot better than the one that looked like ass those first few weeks or whatever like that.
Basically.
I mean, they look like they got a pulse. And then you got Auburn fans wanting Hugh Freeze gone. And Auburn, realistically, yes, they're 0 and whatever in the SEC, but all those games were winnable. And even there were some calls there that maybe even dictated. They at worst could be 2-2.
They're best. What I'm saying?
I mean,
speaking of which, the SEC came out. One of the referees, the head referee from the Auburn Georgia game, and his crew have been fired.
Good.
They're not working any more games in the SEC because of the errors in the Georgia Auburn game. And now they're looking at the officials from the Auburn Oklahoma game and figuring the errors, and they may be let gone too.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it was clickbait or not, but I also heard the same thing going on with a former head official calling out the officials in the Tennessee-Alabama game for blatant missed calls.
That's not
and favoritism towards Alabama.
That's not clickbait. That's real.
Yep.
There's an investigation into that too, because Tennessee sent the tape.
Well, and here's the other thing too. This is what I'm talking about. I am not going to take, and I said this on Stallion Speaks on Sunday night, I'm not going to take anything away from Louisville. They outcoached, outplayed, outkicked Miami's ass in every aspect of that game. In that. But there were some questionable calls in the first half, and there were also some calls in the second half where it was blatant that the ACC. It's almost like somebody made a call and said, "Hey, you might want to take it easy on Miami and start calling something on Louisville," and it negated a fifth interception that Carson Beck would have thrown for some unsportsmanlike conduct hit, like a late hit or something that extended a drive. My point of all that is that I give kudos to the SEC for understanding that this is not acceptable. The ACC doesn't give a shit, and their referees are horrendous. They're absolutely atrocious.
Vegas kickbacks. Make sure you.
Yep, Vegas kickbacks.
Yep, and that's what Larry Frank's been saying, that there are people on the take that are associated with organizations that definitely have got the money line. And even when before that Louisville Miami game kicked off, that line dropped from 13.5 to 7 real quick if you didn't jump on it when you did or what have you, I mean, so it's just like, what did they know over there? I'm not trying to say anything. Louisville won that game. They were prepared, and that's what I was so disappointed with Miami. And what I said last week, I said, I think Miami wins. If they want to show me that they have made that leap as the program, they win that game by 21 points. None of that happened.
None of it happened.
None of that happened. And then Tennessee the next day, that pissed me off too.
And your biggest nightmare, Georgia Tech could be your ACC champion and be in the playoff. Georgia Tech,
I'm not
Vanderbilt,
from Miami.
and South Florida.
Yep.
If nobody had that on their bingo card for 2025.
No, they did. Yeah, no, they didn't. Yeah. Welcome. Get these Cowlick ACC refs next. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
something.
they're next.
And that's the other thing too, guys, that I was going to bring up to you. And Shane, I know that if you've got to go, please do not
Yeah,
stay. And
I'm
so
about to
forth.
jump off. Hey, glad I got to jump on here with y'all. Y'all
Yep,
have a good rest of the night.
All
absolutely.
right,
I'll catch
brother.
up on the show later. I
Brother,
gotta get some sleep.
love you,
Yep,
brother.
love
Love
you,
you,
man.
brother. Love you,
Next
Later,
man.
week.
guys.
Brother.
See you
Later.
next
You bet.
week.
See
Get
you,
some sleep,
brother.
man.
But yeah, so but I know he wanted to come on and talk about the Vitello thing, but what I did want to just make mention is, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion about this. At some point, there has got to be somebody that holds this stuff accountable,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying that I know that it's a thankless job, but at the same time, we joke and kid, oh, AI is going to replace people's jobs or whatever like that. Well, you know what? Are you going to have dang androids calling football games in the future or something like that? And then what are you going to say? I mean, they have no fight in it. I mean, they could be
Yep.
manipulated technically, but
Could be
I'm just
manipulated though.
saying that it's like, guys, I know it's tough, but at this point, I take female referees, not trying to be sexist or anything. I take female referees to just say, "Hey, you might know the game better than some of these guys that have an invested interest in it, and they're not calling it down the middle, man."
To me,
Honestly,
Right.
so.
if coaches and players have to answer to the press after a game, referees need to answer too. They need
Absolutely.
to explain themselves.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's big money involved. I mean, there's real big money involved now. They need to be held accountable and answer questions too.
Yep.
They need to see what it feels like to be a player or a coach and be under that media spotlight, especially when things go wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
They need to be out there facing the music.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Larry's bringing the heat tonight. The chat box is hopping. Larry says LSU loses 4 of the last 5. Also
Yeah, with
mentioned
their schedule.
rumblings of Coach Prime to Penn State. Damn, that would be some breaking news right there, and so forth. He'd get everybody excited. This one, AI needs to coach the Miami offense. Absolutely. This is my favorite.
Hold on.
Belichick.
What prime to Penn State?
Yeah, rumblings of Coach Prime to Penn State. So
Hey,
yeah,
they got
then,
a blank checkbook. They got a
Yeah.
blank checkbook, man.
Yeah, and then of
Dude,
course,
how
and then we got
crazy
Gold
would
Digger
that look?
taking care of ACC reps there. So,
How crazy would that look?
With Prime going to Penn State, they
The-
do have world-class hospital there at Penn
the
State.
excitement, the
I feel like
excitement
Prime-
of Colorado would be on steroids at Penn State. But go ahead, Tupper.
Prime,
Oh God, yes, yes, it would.
Prime is in like the thing with Colorado is this. Colorado hadn't had a football like Prime gave it that swagger again.
Yep.
Like he's made Colorado cool like it was back in the early '90s to go to
Yep.
Colorado.
With Bill
Mhm.
McCartney as their coach. Yeah.
Like
So,
And then
he-
Gary Barnett, and then Gary
That's where
Barnett after.
Prime. That's where like Coach Prime. You think about it. He essentially had the best player in college football.
Yep.
mhm.
He got the best player in college football to go to an HBCU school and
Yep.
then do it on a bigger level, on a larger scale.
Stage. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
For
and
what it's worth.
Yeah. Well, and let me ask you guys this. The big storyline, obviously, who is going to be the next undefeated to fall? I mean, the Miami lost last week. Another one that we really didn't see coming. We thought it might be a game,
Crazy.
but Texas Tech losing to Arizona
Yeah.
State, and
Dude.
Texas Tech had not been down all year long. And when
It
they were
happened.
down, they didn't know how to respond.
But I feel like anytime we take a team and they're undefeated, like it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just like remember when we were talking about that like Colorado and Iowa State game? Like,
Yes.
is it even worth mentioning? And then
Mhm.
Yeah.
Colorado pulls up the Unthinkable.
Or like you even talking about USC Michigan, and USC blew the doors off of Michigan and really gave Notre Dame a tough game last week.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They played very well.
Yep. If Prime went to Happy Valley and let his coordinators do their job, utilize NIL, get quality players, they'd be
Yep.
a force.
They'd be a
yeah.
force. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Seemed like anything Prime would touch would turn to gold real quick.
But it's just the thing is we got to remember like Prime is implementing a lot of experience on the professional level.
Yes,
like,
he is.
Don't get me wrong. Like Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches at the professional level,
Mm-hmm.
but
not at the college level.
The game level of college football, and then he's trying to implement professional practices to, like, this era doesn't. They saw it, but they, you know what I'm saying. They don't realize it. They don't grasp, like. It's kind of like if Bill Walsh was still living and Bill Walsh went back to Stanford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Bill Walsh knows the college game. He helped mold the college game.
Well, because technically that's where he started before he went to Paul Brown and then the 49ers. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and then here's the other thing. Yeah. And then if you want to even go a step further, look at Saban. You know, it maybe didn't work out at the Dolphins, but he leaves LSU in great shape. Mad Hatter continues to win. And then goes to Alabama, and, you know, he's the greatest of all time now. I mean, in football, he is.
Yeah, don't forget Michigan State. He left Michigan State in a great place for D'Antonio.
And that Michigan State team beat Ohio State. Remember that year of '98 that Tennessee won it all. Andy Katzenmoyer and them were on Ohio State.
Was that the Cedric Irvin team?
Yep. Matter of fact, D'Antonio had a winning record against Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State.
Cedric Irvin. Great. Yep. Michigan State's had some. That's why I'm so surprised Michigan State's is struggling as much as they are. I really thought Jonathan Smith would be a good hire for them, leaving Oregon State and with all that money, but they've just not been able to recover from the Mel Tucker scandal.
Exactly. It was the probationist, the Mel Tucker. It was the guy who was the sexual case up there. It infected everything. It infected everything.
And who's the beast that runs for the Seahawks? That was their badass running
Kenneth
back.
Walker.
Yes,
Kenneth
him.
Walker.
I mean, he was a stud, man. Yeah, he had that team on his back that year, and went to New York. He didn't win the Heisman, but he was in the conversation.
And now look what he's doing in Seattle. He's a beast in Seattle, really carrying them with Darnold.
Yeah, he is. So, well, and Tupper, let me ask you this. So, Billy Napier gets fired. Or were you surprised that they waited this long? And also, why do you think they did it after a win against Mississippi State, as opposed to just not taking care of it when they lost to A&M as badly as they did 2 weeks ago?
I don't even know why they waited. And you don't wait till the win. Like, if anything, you wait till the loss. But the locker room's already lost.
Okay.
Yep.
The locker room's lost. There's no stability in place. And that university has all the everything. Same thing with Florida State. Same thing.
Has all the resources.
You've got all the resources there to win. Like, if you got all the resources there to win, there should not be any question. The fact of you do it when they get a win against Mississippi State, like, you've already lost the locker room at this point. Like, why now? Like,
and from what I read, understood, he wouldn't give up play calling. They asked him earlier in that week to give up the play call and let the offensive coordinator do it. He said no. And then the way the game unfolded, they dominated Mississippi State for 3 quarters. Then Mississippi State gets back in and it's about to win the game. If it wasn't for a 360-pound nose tackle who snagged one of the fastest footballs ever come throwing out of Sharpen's hand and intercepted the pass, they'd have lost that game. And then I saw an image on the field after the game where the AD, Scott Strickland, walks right by Billy Napier, doesn't talk to him, doesn't shake his hand, doesn't do anything. The decision had already been made.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Larry, I don't know if you can even jump on for a few minutes. I don't know if you had a show earlier tonight or not. I know Devin was working. If you could give us a few minutes, because we're all wrestling fans too. And I didn't even create this banner because this is such a loaded show tonight and so forth. I also want to talk some high school ball. And Two-Pair, how about the ladies getting another shot at Bearden tomorrow night, man, for the region championship?
Crazy.
That's why they're behind me tonight. Their cause, man, honestly. So,
hey, you better get there early tomorrow because it's going to be packed.
Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for sure. And I even told the football team, get done with your spaghetti dinner, get over to Bearden High School. Let's all root them on, and so forth like that. We'll do a big section over there. But my thing is that what I wanted to ask Larry, as well as you guys, and if he wants to jump on, just let me know, Larry. I'll send you the link. But the truth of the matter is, though, guys, is I saw a report that ESPN has lost their ass off of this WWE thing already. That pay-per-view that happened a few weeks ago only generated, are you ready for this number? 100 subscribers to this ESPN thing.
Wow.
So, yes, this is already a disaster.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about this. Why are you going to pay that amount of money for what we have been accustomed to that hasn't been anything better than $8.99 a month, honestly?
Exactly.
Yeah. The thing is, I had my network subscription. It was like $15.99.
Mm-hmm.
I had my network subscription was $15.99.
Mhm.
Then it went to Peacock.
Yep.
Yep.
Which I'm like, well, I'm already paying for Peacock, so it's even better.
Mhm.
Now you put in because of the conglomerate of UFC,
Mhm.
ESPN, it's like it's not WWE anymore.
Yep.
Mhm.
It isn't.
It's a conglomerate.
Mhm.
And when you like, okay, Rebels with a Cause, Stallion Speaks, Big Cat, you know what I'm saying? The different segments of the show, but it's still Rebels with a Cause,
Mhm.
still 332 Studios. You know what I'm saying? That's the entity,
Yep.
right? It's kind of like we own our different territories.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
we're the
And we're a
NWA.
spinoff from Utah. I mean, Larry Frank
Yeah.
even
That's
mentioned
right.
it the other night. Like he said that it's like when All in the Family, the Jeffersons jumped off of All in the Family.
Yep.
I came from Utah, got with you, and then everybody else has kind of joined in, and we've done our
Mhm.
own
Yeah.
little thing, so different stuff that we cover. So yeah.
Yep.
But it's just that's a struggle. It's a struggle when you go to a super conglomerate like ESP, like inside the NBA. I'm still gonna watch it no matter if it's ESPN or TNT. Like watching inside the NBA tonight.
Oh, it was awesome. I watched it too.
It felt like you're still watching TNT.
Good.
Yep.
It felt like TNT on ESPN.
Well, they told them not to change a thing. They said, you guys have been successful for 30 years. Keep doing what you're doing. They know what they're getting, and it's still as much fun now. And I can't wait to see the post game show because they talked a lot about who's going to be the team in the East, who's going to be in the team in the West. They're still having their banter. Shaq will still be in him. Charles looks fantastic. He has slimmed down so much. He's
lost a ton of weight.
Lost a ton of weight.
Larry did have a thought. He couldn't jump on, but I'll be here. ESPN reached on this WWE deal.
They did reach.
They did.
And
I'll tell you this, what I find interesting, and not that I want to bring politics into this. I never want this in this revenue. But this new CEO for Paramount has come in there, and they made the deal about UFC that they're going to be doing with CBS and Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're getting rid of all those extra MTV channels that used to show the old stuff that we would watch.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that's done
that.
at the end of the year because he said that's too much cost or what have you like that. And I almost think that if that guy had been in charge, the SEC network would still be on CBS, or the SEC would still be with CBS because this guy knows what's hot and what's not or whatever like that. I don't know. I mean, and I'm not trying to support him in any means. It's just interesting that CBS had to hire this guy because look what they've lost. I mean, that Big Ten game at 3:30 last week was Ohio State, Wisconsin. That wasn't even anybody. And that's the number one team in the country. Nobody cared to watch that but Ohio State fans, honestly. So,
well,
yes.
the triple headers that we and you talked about, the triple headers that ABC and ESPN are doing on Saturday, those are blowing the ratings out of the water. There was a 9 share for LSU and Vanderbilt. That's a noon game. 9 share. Tennessee and Alabama at night was an 8.5.
What was Ole Miss Georgia at 3:30?
Ole Miss was 3:30 was like an 8.5, almost 9.02. Those 3 games alone doubled the Notre Dame USC game.
Yep. Yep. And here's the other thing too. Look at this week. I was a little surprised, but I get it. Alabama, South Carolina is your 3:30 SEC on ABC game, but
Yep.
the Missouri Vanderbilt game is your 3:30 ESPN game, even though game day is going to be live from there. And they're
Yeah, and
both
Herb
ranked
Street and
teams.
Fowler are doing that game on ESPN.
And they should. They should.
They
And plus,
should.
Herb Street's right there in Nashville.
It's
so
a
that
home
was
game
easy
for him.
It's a home game. He doesn't have to travel
because
nowhere.
that travel.
Well, he has to travel to LA. He's in LA tomorrow night for the Vikings and the Chargers, and then he gets to fly back home to Nashville.
Yeah.
And it's a home game.
Well, I have so many things to talk about tonight. What I wanted to ask you guys, did you want to do NBA? Did you want to talk a little NBA? We could do high school. I got some good stuff for high school this week. I want to give a shout out to the boys, but also the chat box, whatever you guys want to talk about. I mean, real quick, I just want to bring this up. The week 9 high school football scores are going to be down below. But let me just tell you this, man. Friday night, Carrie and me, while my candy canes were messing up on Friday night, my real favorite team, let me tell you something.
Paintbrushing.
Talk to me.
They paintbrushed them.
Oh my goodness. They said two-pair. When we were watching the soccer games, they said, we're going to take care of business. We had our best week of practice.
Yep.
And this score right here.
Really?
59
they paintbrushed them, man.
Is that the second game of 50 points?
Yes. Yeah. And that's coming off a fall break in between both those games. Sometimes people come back rusty after fall break. No, these guys were on a mission right now.
What has happened? What is different about the team?
I think that they finally have figured each other out now. I mean, it took a little bit of a process to get in there. They lost that Bearden game. I can't stress that enough.
How important that game was.
That first game was, because with everything that those boys had been through, obviously the scrimmage, we had a good one against Jeff County. We'll talk about that one in a second. Then they had the Catholic thing that kind of humbled them, and then they're all set to play Bearden after a solid jamboree showing against Farragut that they really didn't play the starters that long. And then all of a sudden, you get the game canceled and you're having to play Maryville, who is now got your old coach as the defensive line coach over there. And Maryville's one of the best public schools in the state right now. Then you have to go to Central. And it's on the road, and this is a very good Central team coached by a fantastic coach in Kevin Lane. And, you get hit into a buzzsaw. Then you got to go and take on the team that beat Maryville, Alcoa, who's the other best public school in the state of Tennessee, in my opinion. And you run into a buzzsaw there. And, maybe there were some plays that were left out there for the Halls game, but realistically, for the most part, this team has finally put it together when it counts the most. And they've got a big game against Carnes this Friday night. It's homecoming, 7 o'clock. I hope everybody shows up. And, right now, they are in prime position. They take care of business against Carnes on Friday. And here's some stats for you, because I want to give some shout outs. Messiah Wren, 5 carries for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a 65-yarder right after halftime. Also had an interception return. Raheem Lee, 8 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. Jamari Goins and Abel Ancelot both got rushing touchdowns. Jack Harrison hooked up with Silas Monroe for a 38-yard touchdown pass. Cannon Dowd hooked up with Javier Andrade for a 42-yard touchdown pass. Addison Klein was phenomenal at the kicking position. 22-yard field goals, 7 and 7 on extra points, 5 touchbacks. And defensively, Nalaja Dickey, 8 tackles, 2 sacks. Sam Lavelle and Jeremiah Caswell, 8 tackles each. J.P. Peace had 7 tackles. J.B. Sutton, 4 tackles. Davis Neely, 3 tackles. And Colston Colquitt only punted at the end, and he still got 2 punts for 65 yards, one of which was inside the 10 that was fumbled and recovered by West, and we ran out the clock. And it was a running clock in that second half. Phenomenal effort by West. And I'm going to be honest with you. And Kerry heard it too. Them William Blunt fans were a little too big for their britches, and they were leaving by the beginning of the second quarter. That's what was going on there. I don't know what was going on.
They came for senior night. And then that was it.
Yeah, they saw what they needed to see. We
scored 21 points in the
Yes.
first quarter, and it was pretty easy.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it was BDA, man.
So
Belts. Belts were out.
they weren't just talking last week.
No.
No, they were
They
focused.
look
That
like
was
they look like they're together.
Yes, and the coaches had a phenomenal game plan. They out-schemed William Blunt. They threw something that William Blunt looked completely unprepared for.
Mhm.
And again, just got a lot of guys got playing time on Friday. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. And I was very happy for them. And I interviewed Coach Chandler after the game. Shout out to Coach Barron Chandler. He fed us last Thursday
Yeah,
on
he
the set
did.
of the game day.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, I saw that
then
plate. That
honestly,
pretty good looking plate there. He
oh
fed
my
y'all.
gosh. Oh, they hooked us up, man. They always take care of us.
Yes,
And
they do.
just like we take care of them. But he gave me the interview after the game and and he even said it's going to be nice to be home these next two games.
Yep.
They've got Carnes this Friday. They've got Powell next week, a big one on Thursday night, the day before Halloween. And here's the thing. The playoffs are so weird this year, guys. I'm being dead serious when I say this. We could play Sevier County, even if we win out these next two games as the 4 seed, we could play Sevier County round 1 up there in a rematch of last year's game. But
And I
this time it's at
guarantee you,
Sevier County.
that would be a TV playoff game. I
Yes,
guarantee you that would
That
be
will
on
be where
television.
Rivalry Friday will be. I
Yep.
guarantee it. Yes.
Ooh,
Yep.
that would be
And I'll take Sevier County over a trip to Middle Tennessee any day of the
Any
week. and
day of the
twice
week.
on
any
Sunday.
day of the week.
Yeah.
Because we could beat them. Because
Yeah.
they'll
I think
remember
they
what
could- I
happened.
think they could beat them.
Because
Yeah.
they'll remember what happened last year, and that will be fuel. I don't think Sevier County, to be honest with you, I don't think Sevier County, the last team, I don't think they wanted to see. You imagine seeing West in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they could have imagined that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we ain't
that
done yet.
game-
We ain't
No,
done
we're not.
yet. We ain't done yet. No.
Not by a long shot.
Not by a long shot is right.
Kids are fighting. Them kids are ready to go down fighting. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down fighting.
Yeah, oh for sure. And here's some of the matchups this week, by the way. You got Oak Ridge at Farragut on Thursday. Huntington, West Virginia is coming down to play Sevier County for their senior night. Carter at
wow.
Alcoa, Dobbins Bennett at Bearden, Halls at Campbell County, Powell at Clinton, Heritage at Gibbs, Cleveland at Hardin Valley, William Blunt at Knox Central, Bradley Central travels to Maryville, Austin East at Meigs County, Anderson County is travels to South Doyle, Fulton goes to Union County. One of those teams has to win a game. They're both winless. And then, of course, Carnes at West this Friday from West High School, homecoming.
Did Union County just give up 80 to Anderson County?
Yes, the final score in that game was 80-20. In fact, I'll put it up right now. Those scores in case somebody. Yeah, the scores from last week. Sevier County beat Tennessee High. That game was actually tied at 7 at the half. Anderson County, there it is, 80-20 over Union County.
Jeez.
Carter got a big win over Austin East, 41-27. Cleveland got their first win of the year, beating Bearden 28-10. Gibbs beats Fulton 51-7. I never thought I'd see that, guys.
Never thought I'd ever see the day.
Yep, Alcoa and Maryville took care of business. Oak Ridge was in a dogfight with Hardin Valley there, but pulled away there at the end.
And there's
Jefferson
the big upset.
County upsetting Powell. That was a big one. Clinton beat South Doyle 24-0. Obviously, our score. Walker Valley just absolutely slammed.
Hold on,
Lenore
Jefferson
City.
County beat Powell?
Yeah.
Yes, that same Jefferson County that we beat in the scrimmage that we thought would be this team all year, and it probably could have been had it not been
Jefferson County
not having
beat
that Bearden game.
Powell?
Yeah.
Yep.
How's Jefferson County?
That was Powell's first loss, and the game was at Powell, actually. So now the Powell people are now knowing that they've got a very tough West team. And here's the best part, and this is what my message is. Again, we ain't affiliated with the school. This is just my opinion. The media is not your friend. We're your friend, but not the media, because all of them were picking William Blunt with the exception of Mark Packer the other night. And I love that the boys saw that and utilized that as motivation to even win.
Yep.
So
Everybody but Packer picked William Blunt to beat West last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. And you should have seen their fans. They walked in there cocky. It was senior night. They didn't think much of West, and we had something for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
The game was over. In reality, the game was over in 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
and then
love it.
I'm going to go a little step further. Again, I'm going to put this up there real quick because I want this out there because this is me. This is me. So some William Blunt supporter, fan, whatever, troll went on the West Football page and actually called us disrespectful as well as I forget the exact terminology, and I'm not going to make words that are up, but she puts on the West Football page about that we could learn a thing about class. And all this was because we were warming up while their band was still performing at halftime. And their band went over. What
Yep.
were we supposed to do? Our special teams people had given them far more room. She made it seem like we were running drills or warming up right in the middle of them trying to do their little set or show or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And we weren't even anywhere close to that. We were on the far off of the field.
Did you guys ruin senior night?
We ruined senior night. No, I mean, I don't know what they do in Blount County, but you know, they got there early is all I'm going to say because there was nothing to see after 7:45. So
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
saying
the
that
views and opinions.
that Stallion speaks a little bit. That's the edginess on Sunday nights that you get to see.
There you go.
The views and the opinions of the program.
These are our views, baby.
I'm not
So
affiliated with those or any.
and you're going to throw class out there. I mean, what? You just mad that you just got whipped? I mean, let me tell you this: would you care if you had been up 50? Please get out of here.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Please. So
these are our views.
These are our views. So
Yep,
damn
our
it.
views.
So, yeah.
This is us giving them. Hey, this is the side of high school sports, middle school sports. Big shout out to Brian Tate Jr. and the West Rebels. They're going to be playing PAL.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah, they took care of business against Alcoa last week, and even shout out to CJ's brother. You know, he had a big game running the ball and scoring touchdowns. Chavez Smith. Shout out to Chavis Smith and the younger son and so forth being on that team as well. I mean, they are a fun group to watch.
Man,
Coach
group.
Petco's son's on that team too. So I mean, they got a great group of kids.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, Coach Petco's kids on that team. So yes, so yeah. I mean, honestly, they're a fun group. And then Miss Tinian Reed posted some basketball stuff, so they got basketball going on as well over there at Bearden Middle School, and that's just that should be a fun thing. I mean, the product, our little NIL Brian Tate Jr. I'm telling you. He is killing it in football and basketball, and even on the sideline for every varsity game. I love that kid. Honestly, he is all West. He is all about the W. That kid.
Brian Tate Jr. That guy. That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mahogany. Shout out to my occasion. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Brianna Tate. You know, shout out to Brian. Yeah, that's my guy, man. He's like fearless.
He is.
Like that dude is fearless. Like he's an incredible young man. He can really play.
And he looks like he's having fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's all about.
You know
man.
that? I mean, I'm telling you, man.
Having fun, man.
Yeah, it really is. So, but you know, shout out to them. And then this two pair tomorrow night, man. Serious business. Part 3. West Lady Rebels at the Bearden Lady Bulldogs for the Class AAA Region 2 Championship. I'm going to be there 7 o'clock at Bearden High School. I said last week that there's going to be 4 meetings. This is part 3. No disrespect to if we play Sevier County or Science Hill. These two teams will meet in Middle Tennessee for a chance at a gold ball. Their paths are bound to cross again. And I just want to give a shout out to Coach Roberto Castro, the staff, and all the girls on this team. And that's why they're in my background tonight, because they are rebels with a cause, man. And shout out to Courtney Fulmer Peace for giving me that update last night. I couldn't thank you enough for that.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry I couldn't make that game last night. I had another obligation, but I will be there tomorrow night.
Fighting, man. That Bearden game was a tough game, though.
It was a tough game.
Like, That was a tough game.
But look how good they're playing now. I mean, two pair, they avenged one of their losses. They lost to Oak Ridge 3-2 earlier this year, and they left nothing in doubt. They won 4-0 over
Yep.
Oak Ridge. I mean, it wasn't
That's
even
how you
close.
do it, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah. And then our girls won 2-0 last night against Powell. And that was coming off of a game earlier in the year that was a 1-0 victory over Powell by our girls. So we had to go twice to Powell and won both those games respectively, 1-0 and 2-0. And now you have a chance to win the first region championship in West history.
How awesome would that be?
How awesome would that be, honestly, next week?
That would be.
So, be incredible. So, yeah. But that being said, so I want to give a shout out to them as well.
They earned it, man.
Sure, they definitely did. So, but yeah, but I mean, you're looking at but yeah, I mean, I wanted to give some love to the high school football because we haven't really been able to do that. With all the other stuff that's been dominating the headlines and everything, but what else really kind of may have gotten you this weekend, Carrie? I mean, you want to go college football? Do you want to go pro football? I mean, what is it that you want to talk about? Now and so forth at this point.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: the college game is going right along. Everything we're getting unpredictable results. We're seeing things in college football that I think we hadn't seen in so many years. The matchups, the games, the upsets. No, we haven't really been disappointed at a lot of the stuff that's happened. We've predicted some of the stuff would happen, but some of the stuff in our wildest dreams, I didn't think would happen.
You know what I think is the most disappointing thing, and Two Pair can back me up on this. There was a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Miami and Florida State being a top 5 matchup. And what in the hell has happened in a month's time since that matchup? Yeah, I think Two Pair called it that Virginia game. I mean, I'm telling you, man, those ACC Friday nights are spooky, man. They really are. And I don't know what it is about them. Miami I can only think of one time Miami has won, maybe twice. The Virginia Tech game last year that was very controversial, whether the Hail Mary was caught or not. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. But prior to Miami winning that Friday night game against Virginia Tech, the last time I remember Miami winning on a Friday night on an ACC game, Carrie, I swear to you, was Duke, and that was Mark Richt's second year during the turnover chain thing.
Wow. During the turnover chain thing. Yeah.
It was a Friday night against Duke, and Cutcliffe kind of didn't have a good team that year. And Miami, won, because they were a lot better than Duke. But other than that, I have felt that Miami has lost every other Friday night game that they've played when it comes to ACC football. I don't know what it is.
When it comes to ACC football,
yeah. No, Larry Freak's right. Mario Cristobal is disappointing. No, I mean, I said it. Mario's going to Mario. And it's just like, you talk about, here's Shane working 60 to 70 hours a week right now working. And then Mario's like, we've got to get back to work. And I'm like, that's been your whole mantra. We're back to work. I mean, not to be a jerk, but that's like back in the day when Randy Shannon or Al Golden would say, oh, we have guys flying around in practice. What the hell does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That's coach talk. You want to know what results are? Results are this. Let me get to that real quick. Results are this. And I hope it comes on right off the top of the back because they're right at the top of there. Indiana, in 2 years' time, taking care of business against Michigan State 38-13. They're not making it look hard.
Nope.
They're making it look easy, man. And it should be easy.
You got to make it look easy.
Yep.
What is going on here? And then, not to be critical of all my teams, but now there's that talk that Heupel doesn't have our guys prepared for road games. And I don't think that's fair because realistically, we had a special season with Hendon Hooker. And, if it hadn't been for that injury, I think that Tennessee's got a great shot to be one of those 4 teams in that playoff that year.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't get hurt against South Carolina. There's clock management. And then it doesn't help that Alex Golish is doing as well as he's doing at South Florida right now.
To me, the biggest story out of all of this is that NIL has really changed the game.
Yeah.
You get more parity in college football. You're now getting coaches fired. If they're not producing right at that point, schools are sitting there going, it's time to go.
Yep.
Penn
Yeah.
State's paying James Franklin $50 million to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Billy
Yeah.
Napier's getting somewhere between 40 and 45 million, and 60% of that has to be paid by the end of the month.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
And things like that. And Mike Norvell's under him and Brian Kelly both are getting votes of confidence, and mostly because the school says they can't afford to buy them out. But I still have a feeling that both of them could be out at the end of the year. You've got all kinds of stuff going on. This coaching carousel at the end of the season may be one of the largest in the history of college football.
Well, and like I said, I still can't believe Luke Fickell still has a job. I'm being dead serious. They got shut out by Ohio State, and Ohio State was only being nice, by the way, because he used to be an Ohio State guy. Larry said it right here. And I'm going to tell you this, Larry, and I'm going to, when I get on tomorrow night, and I will call, I know I'm going to be watching that girls' soccer game, but I'm going to go off to the side and make a call to you guys or whatever at some point, because I have to voice something. I just have to voice something, and I'm going to voice it tonight. And Kerry, back me up on this because you're a football fan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn what promises you made to Carson Beck, okay? Because here's the truth of it. You're paying him some ridiculous amount of money. It's way more than what Cam Ward got, okay?
Oh, hell
and here's the sad part about it. You worked out some kind of a deal that this is a way for him to redeem himself, that all the stuff at Georgia wasn't true, and that all the this is going to be your time to showcase to the NFL that you can be an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the truth of it. And this is where I call BS on all parties lost, and that nobody had a set of cojones to make this decision. Number one, Carson, NFL GMs and scouts look for not only arm strength, but smart decision making. Why are you going to throw the ball into triple coverage when the check down is there? And that can still get you. That's a smart quarterback. He isn't one. And if the arm is not there because of that horrible injury he had, then you don't play him. But here's the other thing too. After interception 2 or 3, you would have had 4 and 5. And the 5th one was negated by a ridiculous call of an unsportsmanlike conduct from a referee. But that being said,
after interception 1.
And my point
after
is this.
1.
And my point is this. In the NFL, they'll sit your ass down. Especially if you ain't got it. If you ain't got it. Especially if there's a chance to win. And I'm not saying Emory Williams is anything special or anybody else on that roster is for Miami. Hence why they went the route that they went. But I think about the people that are making the decisions for the University of Miami right now. And I can say it on this show, that are affiliated with Columbus High School down there. And they didn't even take Mendoza, who came from Columbus High School, who is a transfer from Cal, who's killing it at Indiana and Cincinnati. And it's like, why didn't you get him down in Miami then? And you wouldn't have had to even pay the amount of money you've paid Carson Beck. And I think he would have made the check down.
Mr. Mendoza,
Just saying that, you know.
I hate saying this, James, but football in Miami just ain't going too well.
It's
horrible. The Dolphins are even worse. The Dolphins are even worse.
We're going to get to them in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to them in a second. You're talking about benching him after 1. Yeah, we got to talk about Tua in a little bit because
we have to. So.
I think he's gone off the rails. I think his play, and then they're letting him speak in front of a microphone at press conferences, which is turning out to be even worse than his play. And that's saying something because his play has been terrible.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, Larry Frank just said, why is your top receiving target a 5'9", 18-year-old freshman? Again, that goes back to recruiting. Yep. Josh Moore's getting paid $800,000 to be a return specialist, but Malachi Toney gets all of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, no receiver rotation. I mean, there's nothing changing there. And that goes back to coaching. And again, here's Mario Cristobal making $9.5 million. Yep. Chip Kelly's making a ridiculous amount of money. What about Dabo? We've not even talked about them. They got killed by SMU the other day or whatever. And Rhett Lashley, big game Rhett Lashley.
Took it to the woodshed.
Rhett Lashley, man. He's going to get a big time job somewhere,
Yes,
unless
he is.
SMU wants to go the route that Indiana did and offer him a bigger contract. But somebody's going to
Yeah, because
get
I'm
Rhett
sure
Lashley.
Penn State and Florida will be. I'm saying Florida will be interested in him big time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why wouldn't you be?
Yep.
Why wouldn't you be interested in Rhett Lashley? Maybe the name's not there, but look what he's done.
Look what he's
I mean,
done.
and he has a fun, exciting offense, and he gets players that fit his offense. Imagine that
Yep.
concept, guys.
Imagine that concept.
Imagine
Yep.
that. So yep. Chris Johnson is running his ass off at
Yeah,
SMU.
Chris Johnson is
couldn't even get on
amazing.
the field at Miami. Couldn't even
Yeah.
get on the field. I mean,
How does
just
that
terrible.
happen?
It's just bad, guys. It's
How does
badness.
that happen? He doesn't get on the field at Miami, but at SMU, he's killing it.
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
Exactly. Well, and then here's the other thing, not to toot Vanderbilt's horn, but look at Clark Lee, former Vanderbilt player. Look what he's done in 3 years' time there at Vanderbilt, man, honestly.
Yep.
And they've got game day coming there. And like Two-Pair, you blew my mind with what you brought up. There's a possibility this cat could possibly maybe sneak in there and win the Heisman when there's no clear front runner right now.
Nope.
He struck a pose. He's arrogant, but he's got that Johnny football look to him. And in a year when there was no clear-cut favorite, or the favorites that you thought have not made the impact like an Arch Manning, this is the type of clown that will get in there and win it.
He won't win it.
I don't think he will, but if he runs the table,
I think he just.
I think he gets invited.
He gets invited, yeah.
It's a possibility he gets invited. But right now, Ty Simpson is where the heat is going with the Heisman. Right now, Ty Simpson, that kid right now, his stock is keep going higher and higher. And they're thinking at the NFL draft, he may be the first quarterback taken.
Simpkins?
Ty Simpson.
Yes, Ty Simpson. Yeah. So is he eligible? He's been there 3 years.
He's been
already?
there 4 years. He's been there 4 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Shoot.
And the scary part is the best quarterback cannot even be in next year's draft. That is C.J. Carr, Notre Dame. He's not eligible until next year.
Yeah, they're getting better and better. I mean, Notre Dame is really going to be
scary thought.
Well, and they took care of business. There's nobody left on Notre Dame's schedule. They will have one of the playoff spots.
They will get one of the spots, as long
especially if Miami does somehow win out and goes 11-1 and stays in the top 10. They'll get in as an at-large. Without even having to play in the ACC. That's the funniest part about it. I mean, I don't even know how that works out, but they're not going to do that. I predict 3 more losses on Miami's schedule, but I say this much right now. Oh, I do. I'm predicting SMU next week in Dallas. Rhett Lashley will outcoach Mario. I predict NC State with CJ Bailey coming back home is going to show out in Miami and beat them. And then the day after Thanksgiving, Miami has to go up to Pittsburgh, and that freshman quarterback will just tear Miami up, and Miami won't care at that point. Everybody will be checked out.
And Pittsburgh's been a house of horrors for Miami.
Correct.
It's been a serious house of horrors over the last few years.
And here's the sad part. I did say before the year that Miami was going to go 6-6, and I didn't change that predicament. I thought that how they would do against Notre Dame would change things, but they had to show me some growth. And the problem is that when you're so vanilla and you have no creativity and everybody's got your stuff figured out after a couple of games that the early people couldn't figure out, this is a recipe that I've been seeing for 20 years as a Hurricanes fan, guys. So, yeah, it's unbelievable. So, yeah.
I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem. Two-Pair, let me ask you this, man. Well, I've got you on. I want to get to NFL real quick because let me tell you something, man. I don't know what in the world is going on. But, here's the NFL storylines after week 7.
Let's talk about it. Week 7 storyline.
Yeah, and I got scores. Underneath or what have you. The only 2 games I'm missing are the Monday night games, which I should have put on there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. But talk about what you saw from the NFL this week while I change that real quick. So.
Oh, okay. Are the Chiefs and the 49ers back on track? Given who they played and the time they played them, yeah. I think they're back on track. The Colts and the Pats.
Are they back?
Oh,
yeah. Because remember, for a long time, that used to be it when it was Brady and Manning patrolling that. And,
you know what it is, though? I feel like with the Colts, quarterback play and coaching have came to mesh. So, like, Steichen is making the game easy for Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jones Jones is seeing the play ahead, but it's like everything that's around it. Like you give him the running game, you give him a good defense, but that offense is number one in like almost every statistical category.
Pretty much.
So that's the storyline that I really does Mike McDaniel still
How does he have a job still?
mm,
I mean, he has got to have
mm.
pictures on the owner or something. I don't know. And then, I know Kerry wanted to talk
You wanna
about
know what the
Tua.
storyline is? You know another storyline?
What's that?
Have you ever heard an owner come out and say we need our quarterback to complete some passes?
Oh my God.
Woody Johnson,
I've never heard
right?
that before.
You never
Yeah.
heard that before?
No, I haven't.
And then they come out and say it's not jiving. Did you hear what Woody Johnson said about Justin Fields?
I heard it. Oh, I heard it. I heard it.
Now I'm gonna give him more. Let's go to Coach Sean Payton this week on what he said about Russell Wilson.
It's I don't know.
The NFL gives you these storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Like that you got the Russell Wilson and Sean Payton dynamic, and then you get the Giants just historically whipping in Mile High.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I've never seen anything like it before. I
They call
thought
the
it
Mile
was
High,
done.
the Mile High miracle.
I mean, what in the world, like, 33 and two pair, it doesn't even stop, even if you get a first down or whatever. To get down there in 30 something seconds and kick a game-winning field goal is unbelievable. I mean, my goodness. Well, and here's the three scores that I had left off from the Sunday night and the Monday night. Putting them on now. So, the 49ers beat the Falcons 20-10. The Lions beat the Buccaneers 24-9. And the Seahawks beat the Texans 27-19. So,
Wow.
Kerry's back. So, there you are, Kerry. But, yeah, look at some of these storylines. Are the Chiefs and the 49ers back on track? Are the Colts and Pats back in terms of just being in the conversation? Because for many years, that game would decide who was the AFC representative. How does Mike McDaniel still have a job? And then there's Joe Flacco, who could he be the answer for the Bengals and help salvage their season after his performance last week?
That's a lot of good storylines right there.
A lot of good storylines there.
But the state of Florida in football and college and pro is atrocious, especially with the Buccaneers losing on Monday night to a good Lions team, but still.
The storyline that we not even mentioned though is the Jets' comments on Justin Fields. Like that might be the worst. That might be the worst of all the storylines that we're not even talking about. Mm-hmm. That might be the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, that
of all of everything, like, because the way Aaron Glenn had to approach the podium once your owner says this, and like your owner shouldn't say that.
No.
Like
especially him.
I'm like, Woody Johnson, man, it just was bad.
He hasn't been a real owner since 1969.
He hasn't. I mean,
it's that place is a failure pit. You go to the Jets, you fail. You don't succeed, you fail.
I can't, like, it's just really getting to that point with that team. You like Aaron Glenn, you leave what Detroit is. Like Ben Johnson, I see why you make that move to Chicago. They're not gonna let their football, go to the wayside. Like that franchise is storied. It's one of the founding fathers of this thing.
One of the original teams.
But what's going on in New York? That's the storyline. And like Mike McDaniel, still has a job.
Yeah.
Like they are royally getting embarrassed on TV.
And they keep talking, and that's the problem. Tua, like I said, we get to Tua. Tua's had the nerve to go to his press conference yesterday, and asked him questions about the games. How come you haven't been targeting Jalen Waddle? And out of Tua's mouth comes, well, I can't see him on the field. And I'm sitting there looking back and going, what? You can't see him on the field? It explains the interceptions. He threw 3 of the worst interceptions known to man Sunday.
I can't see him on the field.
You can't see him on the field. You can't make this stuff up if you were a scriptwriter in Hollywood. You could not make it up.
I don't even know how.
You know, as painful as that injury probably looked and felt, Tyreek Hill's sitting pretty. He at least doesn't have to be in that clown show anymore, honestly. So yeah, he got his money. He got
his money, and he's gone. Another storyline that you forgot to mention. Every time that the Philadelphia Eagles are told, "Oh, we can't do this," they can't do that. Jalen Hurts came out and balled.
Mm-hmm.
Helped
me win a fantasy game too.
Balled.
Yeah.
Against a good Minnesota defense. Brian Flores, who is looking smarter and smarter every single day that he left Miami. He told them that they would rule the day. They fired him for going 10-6.
Yep.
They would take 10-6 right now in Miami.
I still don't understand what happened there. I really don't, because he had the organization going in a right way. And maybe if he's still in charge, you don't go with Tua, you go with
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah. So look at this though. Here's my favorite segment. Go ahead, Two-Pair.
Yeah, look at this is the fun segment there.
That's what we wanted. Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
That's what we wanted.
All right, so look at this. So who are these guys tanking for? You know, there's not a Cam Ward. There's not a Travis Hunter. There's Sanders this year. There's some of the guys that are, that you would love to still have another year of playing college football, like Jeremiah Smith. So look at how bad some of these teams are. The Jets are 0-7. The Dolphins are 1-6. Saints are 1-6. The Titans are 1-6. The only reason the Ravens are 1-5 still is because they were off last week.
Yep.
The Raiders are 2-5.
And now it looks like Lamar Jackson may not be playing Sunday against Chicago, and they might be 1-6.
Oh, they probably will be. So who's his backup? Who is the Ravens' backup?
Cooper Rush. If you remember Cooper Rush, he was in Dallas. He was a serviceable backup in Dallas for Dak Prescott. Yeah. But then they didn't want to pay him back up. They didn't want to pay him. They think Joe Milton has a stronger arm and more of a possibility as a backup. So he went to Baltimore. And with all due respect, I like this top 10 list of the picks. The Giants are 2-5, but they're a bit of a snake bitten 2-5.
Mm-hmm. Like Two-Pair said, I mean, that was a mile-high miracle that happened.
They would have been 3-4.
You're up 26-8. You're up 19-0 at the end of the third quarter. You're up 26-8 with 6 minutes left, and you lose the game.
Yep. They've got some fun pieces. I was talking to some Giants fans. I said, man, what I as a Titans fan wouldn't kill to have some weapons around Cam Ward, because you got Jackson Dart, Scattaboo's doing great. You got Kayvon Thibodeau on the other side of the ball. I mean, all I'm saying is the Giants got some pieces. They just need to find the right coach. But that was inexcusable to blow a lead like that, especially.
And out of all of those
coaching right there.
And out of all of those situations, I think the Titans will have the best situation.
Yeah.
Because you've already got a stud quarterback. You just got to get the skill. You don't need to that of all of those teams, they have a quarterback. And the Giants.
Yep.
They can build, and the Ravens have Lamar.
Well, and here's the other thing too. I think it's just unbelievable that Mike Vrabel, comes back. Look what he's done with the Patriots, I mean, and they've got some pieces. And I hate to say that. I'm not even a Patriots fan.
I'm not. And the scary part is, being a Bills fan, they're not done with pieces yet.
They're not.
They're a year. I think they're a year ahead of schedule.
They are. They are. They gotten more out of Stephon that I don't think
That I
that
thought they would have gotten. I
Yes.
think even they thought they would have gotten.
Yeah.
They've gotten more. Drake May has progressed faster than I think they thought was possible.
Yes.
And I think they're a year ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. No, I agree with that. I mean, and that's why I asked. I mean, look at what the Colts have done. The Colts, they're running away with the division right now. And then the Jaguars got absolutely smoked
That
in
was
London.
Like egg layer in London.
Oh my God,
that
how
was
bad!
Matthew Stafford got back to his Detroit days and throwing 5
Matthew
touchdown
Stafford
passes.
setting the record for overseas touchdowns.
Overseas touchdowns in NFL history.
Nasty.
He's thrown the most.
Well, and I'm going to tell you guys this: the Rams. I'm going to say it, man. The Rams. They are low key, quietly doing some work
they are.
Right now.
Yeah,
they got a good defense. They got a good defense.
They're the closest thing I think that can match wits with the Eagles and the Lions.
I agree with that.
I agree.
I feel like Eagles, Lions, Bucks.
I feel like
Rams.
Eagles. Yep, I feel Eagles, Lions, Rams. I think the Rams are a slight better than the Bucks.
Yeah.
The Bucks injuries, I don't know how they've hung on this long with all the injuries. And then Mike Evans goes down with a broken clavicle Monday night, coming back from
that.
He's
sucked.
Out for
I felt bad for him,
and I felt Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame receiver.
Yeah,
he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
that hurts,
and that probably hurt their chances. Go ahead, too, Perry. Yeah.
And he's got that record for 1,000 yards season, and this could be in jeopardy right here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks. I mean, and just think he might have been the heart and soul of that team, and then you see an injury like that to one of your guys that you were excited to have back, change the whole trajectory of that game, because we were talking about that could have been the game of the week between two top
shaping up that way. And I'll tell you what, Detroit impressed me. Detroit really impressed me, but really the new defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, he's really impressed me. He's picked up the baton where Aaron Glenn left off, but he has a better fate. He's got healthier guys. Aiden Hutchinson looks like a freaking beast.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like right now, he is my favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. He is just all over. He is at the quarterback. He is tackling the ball. That kid came back from that injury and it's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, and then you look at the 49ers, that was the other thing, too, that I'm going to take off these stinky teams because they're ass. But anyway.
And we'll get to one of those as part of you stink later.
Oh, I can't wait. Teams, our favorite segment, though.
The opposite. The opposite. Well, I'll explain more after.
Absolutely. Well, then you look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs got Rice back. They looked like they got a better offense. I mean, consider who they were playing, the Raiders. No disrespect, Devin. I know those are your boys. And then the 49ers, C-Mac looked good. I mean, again, it was the Falcons. I get it. But still, I mean, are the Chiefs and 49ers back on track to maybe getting back to making the playoffs and so forth?
Right now, my coach of the year. Right now, my coach of the year would be Kyle Shanahan. For all the injuries, he lost his two best defensive players, Bosa and Fred Warner, out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk is not even back. We don't know when Brandon Ayuk's going to be back.
Yep.
They're down to 3 receivers,
mm-hmm.
6 offensive linemen. How he has coached them with all of these injuries and have done the job he's done. He's my coach right now. He's my favorite for coach of the year.
I agree with that. And then you got to also look at your check out what's going on with Kittle came back, and that kind of helped. That gave another weapon, and it looked like McCaffrey was able to get stuff done. C-Mac
and Mac Jones. What a rebirth. And maybe that's the team that Mac Jones should have been with all along. Had the Niners picked him instead of Trey Lance, Brock Purdy's not there, and we're not questioning whether Brock Purdy's going to be back this year or not. Because right now, that injury might be worse than they're letting on.
Yep.
And I wouldn't play Brock Purdy until
paid him a lot of money too.
Yep.
Some quarterbacks need a fresh start in some places, before they get deemed a bust or some disrespectful thing. I'm going to tell you this, man, that Justin Fields kid, I think that if you put him, maybe put him on the Rams as the heir apparent to Matt Stafford, I bet you he balls the hell out.
Yeah,
goes
give
to
him a
an
coach that
organization
knows
that
what he's
wants to
doing.
win, like the Rams. You know what I mean? Type of a thing.
Look what McVay did for Baker Mayfield.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
that little trip that Baker made to finish out that year turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah.
The story that they did on him Monday Night Countdown was absolutely amazing, and what he went and he told him what he went through. He thought he was done. He really thought he was done until Sean McVay called him and said, we needed you to fill in for a game because we don't have a quarterback. That saved his career.
That saved his career.
That saved his career.
Wow.
Sam Darnold going to Kyle Shanahan saved his career. Went to Minnesota, and now Minnesota probably wishes they had kept Sam Darnold after watching Carson Wentz look like Carson Wentz.
Is McCarthy even going to be ready to go, or is he out?
I think he's out for a little longer. I think the injury might be worse than they thought.
Wow.
Than what's been reported.
Wow.
Because this was supposed to be a 4-week injury. We're going on 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Like he might be on IR or whatever.
Yeah, he should have already been on IR if that's the case, but that's not good.
No. And you mentioned Darnold. He helped me win another fantasy game. Him and Jackson Nigba hooking up all of the game long. I mean, they become a hell of a tandem there.
I'm telling you, in the college ranks, Brian Hartline is the name to be watching for, the wide receiver coach at Ohio State. This dude has look at the draft pick, the number 1 draft picks. This man alone has put in the NFL. He recruited.
Yeah, he's put a ton of guys in there.
He's put a ton of guys in. He knows the Northeast. He knows all of that area. He would be a great candidate if he wanted to be a head coach. If you're Penn State, if you're Florida, I'm calling him up because he's the type of guy that would be successful, that would give people fits. You imagine an Ohio State guy going to coach Penn State. Think of the outrage in Columbus. How jeez.
Oh, I agree. So yeah. Well, we're going to get to I guess your big games here segment in a minute. I did want to briefly mention this and so forth because it's been another great show. And again, chat box, love the heat. Anything you guys want to talk about? Hey, we're going to talk about this earlier, but we wanted to get the high school in. NBA starts this week. What are you most looking forward to? Right now, man, I don't know what the hell's going on, but there has been some really loud criticism of Cooper Flagg not having any points at halftime. He's running point guard. I'm not even watching the game. I'm just kind of seeing what's coming across my Twitter feed. And Charles Barkley went off on the Mavericks about the fact that he hasn't scored. He's not a point guard. And it's like, guys, it's just game 1. Let this kid, be his own thing. I mean,
Anthony Davis now is checking Wemby. Wemby's gone off for 28 and 10 already.
I'll tell you what, Wemby, the best thing he did this offseason, he went and got training on how to be a center. He went to Hakeem a lot.
And he is working Dallas right now.
Oh, my God.
He's already got a 31. He's 11 of 17 with 10 rebounds.
He is. You could look at him and tell that Elijah
31 points right now.
The work that Elijah Wan has done with him is absolutely showing. You could just look at he's different. The moves are different. He's posting.
He's 7'5", isn't he?
He's
is that
7'5". Could you imagine with Akeem's fadeaway and his pop? Oh my God.
He just put a move on Anthony Davis that made him want to go back to Kentucky. That was pretty bad.
Well, and like I said, old Derek Lively, I don't even know if he's back playing tonight from his injury or whatever like that. I mean,
Derek Lively's back playing.
And they don't have anything to counter Wemby. Hey, I mean, he's a weapon. That's
going to be the story of the year is the Western Conference. It is loaded. The Western, to give you an idea of how loaded the West is, I think the Golden State Warriors could win 50 games and miss the playoffs.
I agree with that.
That's how loaded the West is, but I don't think Golden State misses the playoffs. I watched Steph Curry last night, and he called this year's tour Unfinished Business 2025-26, because remember, he got hurt in the playoff last year after they beat Minnesota in game 1. I still believe this. Had he been healthy, they're playing Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals.
I agree with that.
Not Minnesota, they would be. Golden State might be old. They might be one of the older teams, but they're as long as number 30 has that ball and hits threes and does his thing, they're dangerous.
Well, and VJ Edgecombe did something that no rookie's done, scoring 34 points in his debut, most since Wilt Chamberlain had 43 back in 1959 tonight, by the way. So,
For who did he play? Who does he play for?
VJ Edgecombe is actually a Sixers rookie.
Philly.
He was the
did he
third
have?
pick. He had 34 points tonight, brother. He helped rally Philadelphia to upset the Celtics tonight.
That's going to be the other story this year.
I like VJ at Baylor last year.
Yeah.
I really liked his
He's
game
good.
at
He was a
Baylor.
good player at Baylor.
Yeah.
Gabe
Joel
Bus-
Embiid came back tonight and only scored 4 points, but he's still working his way back from that bad injury and so forth. So
that will be the other story this year. Who comes out of the East? Because to me, the East is as wide open as it's ever been. You got no Tatum in Boston. You got no Halliburton in Indiana. If Joel Embiid can somehow recuperate and get himself back to Philly and stay healthy, Philly could be a threat. My three biggest threats in the East, I look at the Knicks. I look at Detroit because I think Detroit's going to improve from last year. And my surprise sleeper in the whole NBA is the Orlando Magic.
I could see that.
Those guys are young. They're the youngest team in the NBA. Only Oklahoma City is the second youngest team, and they won a title. And Orlando has the same type of ingredients. And I think they had the best free agent signing that no one talked about. They signed Desmond Bane from Memphis, and he's a three-point shooter. It's what they were lacking. They were lacking that last year. They have three-point shooting with Suggs and those guys those Rough Riders down there. They're dangerous, man.
Yep.
Orlando's a dangerous. Orlando hadn't been dangerous since Shaq left.
I like what Orlando's got with Desmond Bane. He had that to him.
Paolo Banchero, year 3 now.
Banchero's a bad boy.
He's a bad dude.
If it comes to the East, who I really like, I think Orlando's a sleeper. I think if I had to put money on it, I'm putting New York. I feel like something's got to give.
Yep.
And I feel like this could be the group. This could be the group in New York. You're getting a lot of teams while they're down. Like,
oh yeah,
what is Miami's identity?
They lost tonight to Orlando. They had the lead going in the fourth quarter and did their annual "we lose to Orlando every first game every year." It seems like so. Yeah,
we don't know what Miami's identity. We know they're going to play hard. That's the only identity thing they have.
I'm going to tell you a team that nobody's talking about that low key has made some acquisitions and realistically showed out tonight. Granted, consider the opponent, but still impressive to score this many points. And that was the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
They beat the Hawks 138-118. They acquired Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans, and he needed a fresh start. He had 16 points tonight. RJ Barrett, who they got from the Knicks, who was a great player, 25 points tonight, man. He has been low-key working. Barnes had 22. Poltel had 14, and Quickly had 13. Their starters all averaged double figures, not to mention they had Sheed and Garrett Dick get 10 and 21 off
Grady
the bench.
Dick.
Grady Dick, sorry. I thought it was Garrett. Grady Dick, 21 points, 10 points from the defense. I mean, they were outstanding tonight. So
I'll tell you what, if Brandon Ingram, who was an all-star in New Orleans, had that injury that knocked out basically almost a year and a half. Yep. If he gets back to what he was in New Orleans, Toronto's dangerous.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Scotty Barnes is one of the best players in the league that a lot of people don't know about. That kid can absolutely ball. It's like watching a younger Pascal Siakam for Indiana. Scotty Barnes is like a younger, quicker version of him. And that's scary.
Perfect comparison. And then RJ Barrett, who was always in Zion Williamson's shadow coming out of Duke. I mean, the thing was, maybe he wasn't flashy, but if you get 25 points from him, you can forget it, honestly, because his shooting was always the thing that held him back. And he was 9 of 12 tonight, 2 of 4 from 3-point range.
People talk about a trade that is rarely works out NBA wise for both teams.
It was
trading him to Toronto and and the Knicks getting Alubabi has worked out very well for both teams.
Yep.
RJ Barrett's a stud.
And I still think the Cavs are going to be a good team. I just think that they just went up against a very good New York team. It was back and forth, 119 to 111 and so forth. So, I mean, but yeah, I think you're right, too, Pair. New York, man, I mean, you have Cat and Bridges and Brunson. I mean, they were working tonight, man. They really were. So,
and they have the pressure on them.
Yeah.
And the reason why they got the pressure on him, Mike Brown has walked into now. It's the finals or bust for them.
Correct.
Because Tibbs got you to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you fired him for saying that was as good as he could do. Mike Brown has got to get them to the finals.
Well, they'll do it.
Or they're going to be here and talk. Or they're going to be here and talk for the next. New York City. If they don't get to the finals, can you imagine what New York City is going to be? You fired a perfectly good coach who had us on the cusp of the NBA Finals, and you fire him, and we still don't get there.
You're right.
And the one other specter that could put them over the top, the Giannis specter.
Yes. Yep.
Because Giannis said in the offseason, the one place that he would go is New York. If Milwaukee starts off badly, don't be surprised if that move happens sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're asking me right now, the teams that could threaten the Knicks at this point, I'd say the Magic are probably a team that would be look out for, especially with the acquisitions that you've mentioned. Toronto, right there, and so forth. But in terms of the sexy usual suspects, Boston does not have Tatum, and Jaylen Brown can't carry that by himself. Indiana doesn't have Halliburton, like you said.
And they don't have Miles Turner either.
And there are some bad teams in the East. We talk about the NFL, man. Like the Pistons stink.
The Pistons will be pretty good.
They'll be decent.
They'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, they're already 0-1. I'm looking at Washington. They're a bad team.
Washington's terrible. Watch out for Zakai Ziegler in Detroit. Coming off that bench, he's going to be a force coming off that bench.
Zakai made the Pistons?
Yes, he did.
Yep, he did.
He made the Pistons.
He's Swaggy and Zakai?
Yep.
Not bad.
Watch him coming off that bench. We all know what Zakai can do. Comes off that bench and gets that energy going. In Detroit, they're starving for a winner.
Yep, and then the Hornets. I mean, they won tonight. Terrible. Brandon Miller, but they won. They beat the Brooklyn Nets. So I mean, wow. Brandon Miller had 25 points tonight.
The question with them is how long is he going to be there, because his trial starts soon in Alabama.
Oh my God. You can't make this up, man. You really
can't.
Yeah,
you can't make that stuff up about that shooting 3 years ago. His trial starts in January.
Well, and I'm looking at the Hornets. They don't have a bad lineup. I mean, Bridges had 18. Con Knipple in his rookie debut had 11.
I like him.
Yeah, he's solid.
I like
Ball. Ball had 20.
Can he get back to what?
Kalkbrenner had 10. So that was your starting lineup. They had Diabate get 13 off the bench. Colin Sexton got 15 off the bench.
I want to see what Ball can do off his injury. I want to see if he can get back to the player he once was before the injury. Because before the injury, he was going.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see
shot
him.
7 of 15, 4 of 8 from the 3.
Yep.
And had 8 assists with the 20 points.
That's his stat line. That is a classic Ball stat line. 24 threes, 8 assists. Nearly a double-double. That's what you want.
Interesting.
But yeah, this NBA season is going to be fun. And like I said, I'm just happy that the ESPN got inside the NBA with Charles and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. That's going to make great program. They're already having fun tonight in the tip-off show with Popeyes being their sponsor, they had a blast.
Well, and then John Morant went off for 35 points tonight for the Grizzlies. They
Can he
beat the
stay out of
Pelicans.
trouble?
He's his own worst
That's
enemy.
going to be the question. Can he stop being his own worst enemy?
Yeah.
Because that kid's got all the talent in the world. The problem is it's between his ears.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And Zion, the reformed Zion Williamson, I mean, who's also been a head case for himself.
How'd he do tonight?
27 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists with his new body that he's transformed into. Shot 10 of 21 in 33 minutes.
And that's a damn shame because the talent's always been there with him.
It has. It has.
It's always been there with him. He just never committed himself to his body, and it might be too late now.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
At least he's trying to save himself. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. No, I agree with that too. So, switching gears real quick, the college basketball preseason poll came out, and obviously this Sunday, I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
Stallion Speaks is going to be a little delayed because I will be there front and center to watch the Duke Tennessee exhibition game. Game is sold out. I got an email today saying get there early. They're actually opening up the gates 90 minutes prior to tip-off.
Yeah, it's usually an hour.
Yeah, there's going to be 24,000 people there, and this is an exhibition game. Obviously, the tickets are sold out. It's going to be on ESPN2. I know that's going to be right there on the cusp of those afternoon NFL games or what have you. But honestly, the way my football teams are looking right now, I'm ready for college basketball, guys. I hate to say that, but anyway, just some differences between the coaches and the AP. They switched Duke and St. John's 5 and 6. I saw there that they also switched Louisville and Texas Tech. Tennessee, I think, moved up 1. They had them at 17, but the AP had Tennessee at 18.
And I think Tennessee's going to be better than that.
I think so too. No, I think so too. So yeah, but yeah, that game is going to be big Sunday night here in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Food City Center, there at 7:00. And like I said, we'll definitely talk about it. So
I'll tell you what, Nate Event and Jacob Gillespie, you're in for a show.
Oh yeah,
I watched them play. I watched their high school highlights. You're in for a show, big boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and like I said, I mean, you've got the number 3 and the number 4 player going up against each other. Cameron Boozer. And he had 33 points in his debut against UCF last night in the first exhibition.
Man.
And I was watching him, and he is different from his dad. He's got an outside shot.
Yep.
He can dunk. He's not like as fluid as Cooper Flagg is, but he'll definitely be in the conversation for ACC Rookie of the Year, I'd probably say, if he's going to average that. And again, I mean, obviously it's UCF, and that. The fact is, that's pretty impressive for a freshman, 33 points. I mean, and let's see how he does against the Tennessee defense that's really going to be physical and really throwing their weight around, and so forth.
And kudos to both schools for doing an exhibition like this with these two together, for Duke even to come here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Give both schools credit. This is absolutely amazing. And to get 24,000 people for an exhibition.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
Well, and honestly, if you look at Duke's schedule, it's almost borderline insane. I mean, they've got Texas. I mean, this is just an exhibition game. They've got Texas. They've got the Champions Classic against Kansas, who may be a little down this year, but still, Kansas, they're saying, has maybe potentially the number 1 pick in the draft with Patterson.
Patterson,
team. Yeah. They've got to play Michigan State. They've got in the SEC ACC Challenge this year. They're playing Florida. They've got to play, Arkansas in a game the day after Thanksgiving in some big time thing. So they've also got to play Texas Tech too, and Michigan in February. So, I mean, John Shire's not afraid to schedule. And I think he was also kind of needing a tougher schedule, especially if they're needing quality wins when it comes to March and the bubble and the eye test.
And then of course,
and then of course he respects Rick Barnes, and this is a good test for Tennessee as well to see how they match up against a potential team in Duke that it does bring back 5 players that were big contributors on a team that went to the Final Four. So let's see how it goes on
Because
Sunday.
we all know the SEC, when it comes to college basketball, it's going to be a dogfight.
Another bloodbath. I mean, what, 13 teams last year was the deal.
NCAA tournament. Yep. And
Tucker, did you see the coaches poll today? There was a little bit of difference between the AP. I've got it going down there and so forth. A lot of the same teams, just they had them in different positions and so forth. So yeah, but even the Tar Heels got in there at the top 25. So number 25 in both polls. So yeah, but should be a good season. I mean, I'm
be a
looking
really
forward
good
to it.
season.
So,
college basketball now, man, it's just it's as
Absolutely.
hyped up as the pros. It's as hyped up as football. It's right up there. Everybody, you go from football season, you could sink into the college football season. I mean, college basketball season, because conference play is gonna be smoking. It always is, man.
And especially with some, and I hate that some of these big name games that I kind of named, and I know I was just naming the ones that Duke was involved with, but there's going to be some other games, those preseason Thanksgiving tournaments and everything. You know, I watch them. I do watch them and so forth, because at least it gives you a little appetizer for March, and you kind of see who can grow, who's going to be there, you know, and then you kind of start to see the separation in after Christmas break of who's going to be the contenders more than
because
anything.
To me, the best teams will play the tough non-conference schedule, and then when you see it in the conference, you see why.
Oh, absolutely.
You see why.
So, yeah.
Well,
Kerry, it's your segment now. What are some of the big games of the week that you've got this week, brother?
Oh, man. And the college level, that SEC triple head, you got some SEC talent games on there. You got Ole Miss and Oklahoma at 12 noon. Ole Miss is going to be smarting after losing to Georgia. Oklahoma got themselves back on the track with South Carolina, and it's Lane's first trip to beautiful Norman, Oklahoma. Should be a whole lot of fun for noon. You got Missouri and Vanderbilt, and this is a big game for both. Missouri is looking for a quality win, and who'd have thought I would use the word Vanderbilt and quality win in the same sentence?
It's bizarro world, guys. It
Very
is
bizarre. And Vanderbilt, it's the same thing. Get another quality win over a ranked team, and you're a top 10 team now. So everybody now is going to get – Vanderbilt's going to get their best shot.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to give them their best shot. You got a trap game I really think is a trap game at the 3:30 spot opposite of Missouri and Vanderbilt with Alabama and South Carolina. I'm thinking that's a trap.
Ooh.
Alabama's just played 4 straight ranked opponents and beat them all impressively. Now you go to Columbia. This has all the makings of a letdown. This has all the makings, because that crowd in South Carolina, you know, it's gonna be rocking down there. Great place to watch a game. Alabama better come ready with their big boy pants, because if they take them lightly, Sellers has got a shot to run all over them, because their defense, Deshaun Bishop showed you that you could run on them, and he is not nearly as big as Sellers. That kid's a truck. Get him out there in open spaces. That's gonna be, and then Texas A&M and LSU. I call this the possible Brian Kelly survive game. He's got to beat somebody. That win over Clemson looks horrible now.
Yeah, and the Florida wins nothing anymore.
Is worse. He needs this. To A&M is the number 3 in the. I think they're number.
They're 3. They're
number 3 in the country. This would be big for Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly needs to shut some people up. This would do it. It's a rival game. You guys have put on classics before, and it's at Death Valley at night.
I'll tell you what.
They haven't won there in 8 tries.
In 8 tries since they've joined the conference. If not now, for Mr. Nussmeier and them, when?
Well, here's my thing. If Pavia was as successful as he was, what's Reed going to do to these guys, honestly? And big Ruben Owens running the ball, because Cedric Alexander had a big game for Vanderbilt last week before he even got hurt and so forth, and was running on LSU. So
and it's hard for me to see the number 3 team in the country not get talked about much because of what Alabama's doing at what Ole Miss and Georgia are doing. It's like A&M is being left out of the conversation. It's like, hey, we're undefeated number 3 in the country. We're not a slouch.
And I love that our shows are all archived, because if you go back to when we were talking about teams that could surprise, I mentioned Elko and A&M. I didn't know how they would do this well, but I thought that, either Miami or A&M were the great hope to stop Notre Dame. And somehow Notre Dame's still going to find their way into the playoff again or whatever, but
Thanks to
it is what it
USC.
is. So, yeah, thanks to the USC win and taking care of business against Boise State and NC State.
Yep,
so,
those are
yeah.
my Saturday games. Sunday games, not really a whole lot on the schedule because you got a lot of cross-section rivalries. You got a rematch. There's two games I'm looking forward to, and they're late Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys, who I have not mentioned on this program at all this year, except for Jerry Jones being absolutely, for trading Micah Parsons, hottest offense in the NFL. They go to Denver, play one of the best defenses in the NFL. Something's got to give. Cowboys offense has the most yards. The Broncos have given up the least amount of yards. Something's got to give. And the game's in Denver.
Is that the 4:00 game in the afternoon?
4:25 game. That's the national 4:25 game. And then the 8:20, Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh gets to welcome his former team, the Green Bay Packers. The guy who replaced them, Jordan Love. TV, NBC couldn't have lined up this week any better. The premiere of the NBA Tuesday night, and then you get Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers hosts his former team. Should be a terrific ball game. I want to see Pittsburgh can win a big game, especially after 10 days off, after Joe Flacco did them the way he did them. They got a rebound. Green Bay's no joke, and Micah coming to town.
Yeah,
off a 3-sack, very impressive 3-sack game Micah had against Arizona.
I'll tell you one thing. Poor Larry, man. He took it on Thursday night with his Steelers and then the Canes on Friday night. Honestly, I was shocked the Steelers lost that game, man. But I guess Flacco just had to beat the Steelers one more time. I don't know how.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's was so upset at Cleveland for trading him to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he figured out what Cleveland was doing. He said, we don't want Pittsburgh to win, so we're going to give them Flacco because he could throw it all over the field, and Jamar Chase was unstoppable.
He was unstoppable. He probably won some people some fantasy football games on Sunday.
If he didn't win anybody from fantasy football, they bet the wrong people because 16 catches – he better won something for somebody.
Well, and you know what? That's the thing, though, guys. It's like, isn't it been kind of interesting how some fantasy players have really not lived up to the hype and others have really balled out? And then there's some that I guess because of injuries have really impacted other players around them and so forth. And it's so funny. In one draft, they said that I would finish with a terrible record. I didn't know how to draft, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm 4th in that league.
Oh, of course.
The other one that I was predicted to win, I'm in last place. So you go figure, go figure, I mean, it is what it is. And if you looked at my draft, you would have been like, wow, James, how in the hell are you last? It's not that I'm not putting the lineups in there. The problem is that these guys aren't performing or they're hurt and you can't play if you're hurt. So not very well, but yeah. So, well, it's time for our favorite segment before we get to predictions. They stink. 2-pair, I want you to go first this week. Who is your they stink?
Oh man. Well, it's got to start in the land of New York. Whether it's the Giants or the Jets, they stink. The Giants giving up this crazy lead to the Broncos. The Jets owner coming out saying what he said. I'm kind of actually short on time, so I kind of got to wrap this up. But it is just really looking to me that it's got to be the land of New York. Like the land of New York is just they stink.
Gotcha.
Like the apple is rotten.
Gotcha.
The apple is rotten.
Well,
Mhm.
we'll make this quick, and then I want your predictions very quickly. I got 7
Yeah.
quick games to pick too. We'll finish. We'll wrap up here in the next 7 minutes, real quick. Carrie, who is your they stink?
It's funny that two pair mentions New York. The Giants Denver game and that great debacle and comeback that happened. Sean Payton said something that really irked me and turned me off.
I think it's
Had the nerve to criticize the Giants for playing Jackson Dart for this game to take a shot at Russell Wilson. Sean Payton stinks. Sitting there talking about they should have kept Jackson on the bench because he really wanted to stick it to Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, all he said back, classless, but not surprised because Sean Payton did him dirty, talked about him, criticized him, and basically kicked him out of Denver. And then he criticized him like that. So Sean Payton this week, even for winning, should be happy about winning a game, come back and win a game. No, his petty self talked about Russell Wilson. You stink, Sean Payton. You absolutely freaking stink.
well, my friends.
Oh, this is gonna be good. You got that look on your face. This is gonna be good.
I know we're short on time. I'm gonna make this simple and easy. I could go towards the college kids and the state of Florida. Florida State, Miami. What is going on with you guys? I mean, what is going on with you all? You were once the creme de la creme of college football.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches that have come through here, it is what it is. But no, I've talked enough about you. No, this is special in every sense of the word. I don't know what happened years ago. The Robbies decided to leave the Orange Bowl. I don't know if they did some bad juju by doing that. They build a stadium called Joe Robbie Stadium in the middle of nowhere, Broward County, outside the city. Fans still show up. Fans play merchandise. Every quarterback, every coach, players, this guy, that guy, You've not made the AFC Championship game since you hosted it and lost to the Bills in 1992, January 29th. Lost 29-10. Marino,
I was there.
everything, my goodness. It's just a series of mess ups. Picking the wrong guy in the draft, taking the wrong free agent, overpaying for this guy, underpaying for this guy. But the culmination of the franchise of the Miami Dolphins was losing to a team that on paper is worse than them. And Tua Tagovailoa and his throws made Carson Beck look like a Heisman Trophy winner 2 days before. That being said, Miami Dolphins, you absolutely stink. You are so bad. And the only reason that you're not worse is because there's the Jets that you somehow found a way to beat that is an utter waste of absolute space. Both you organizations should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yep.
And my gosh, two of the biggest markets, two of the proudest fan bases, and people that spend merchandise and tickets. I don't know how you do it, but Miami Dolphins, you stink.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Predictions time, guys. I got 7 games here. We'll make them quick. Ole Miss at Oklahoma is the first one. You know, I've been going back and forth on this one. I think Oklahoma matures a couple weeks back with the injury, the throwing form. I like that Oklahoma defense. Give me the Sooners to win because the game's in Norman. If it was in the Grove, I'd go Ole Miss, but give me the Sooners. 2 pair, who you got?
Man, give me the Sooners. I really like their defense. They get after it. That defensive line, the linebackers, they're playing balls to the wall. I just don't like Ole Miss on the road. Give me Oklahoma by 3.
And maybe even Lane Kiffin's flirting with Florida Gators, already talking and not really focus on the Rebels right now. But I like that pick. Carrie, who you got?
I like Oklahoma by 3 as well because I think it's going to be a tough physical game. I think Mateer might be on the mend. We don't really know because Texas pushed them around, but then they pushed South Carolina around. Ole Miss is better than both of them. So I want to see how he does against a really talented Ole Miss team. And I think they'll do well. I think they win by 3. It's a noon kickoff. Well, in this case, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff being in Norman. So this should be interesting to see how both teams come out.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. South Florida at Memphis. This game had all the markings of who was going to basically be in as the group of 5 representative. Memphis is going to need a lot of work, especially with that
Yep.
bad loss to UAB last week. South Florida's been rolling, but the game is at Memphis. Carrie, who you got in this one? The Bulls or the Tigers?
This is one of the 2 toughest games that I had to pick this week, because this was also a game day possibility.
It was.
Game day could have been there, except Memphis lost. I think South Florida wins by 3 because South Florida has shown they will go anywhere, play anybody, and will beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 2 of the most impressive wins all year, and I think they get a 3rd one. And I think they establish themselves as the group of 5 as leading candidate for the group of 5 representative.
I like it. 2 pair. Who you got? The Bulls or the Tigers?
Man, I really like South Florida. Memphis is gonna give them trouble. I think Memphis is gonna have a little bit of a bounce back, but realizing that South Florida's got a lot more to play at stake.
Yeah. I like that Brown kid at quarterback. He's a
I do too.
beast, goalish. I mean, let me tell you something. Enjoy him, South Florida fans. This is that one Central Florida type year because Goalish is going to be somewhere else next year. I just
Yep.
hate to say it. So,
I
but
do too.
give me the Bulls, and I like them by 3, by the way. Give me a tough game, but the Bulls will find a way to win. Give me South Florida. Missouri at Vanderbilt. You know, guys, I have kind of been talking about this Vanderbilt team all year. There's just something about them. I think if this game had been in Columbia, give me the Tigers. But honestly, Pavia in Nashville, I like Stowers. I like Cedric Alexander. Game day going to be there. I don't think the moment's going to be too big. Give me the Commodores to anchor down on Missouri. And I don't like Missouri's coach either, so go Vanderbilt. So, 2 pair, who you got in this one?
Man, like I said, Diego Pavia has been exciting to watch. Their games in Nashville, they're gonna go crazy. I like Vanderbilt. Give me Vanderbilt.
All right, Kerry, who you got in this one?
Toughest game of the weekend to pick because Missouri is talented, but like you said, if this game was in Columbia, I would probably go Missouri's way. But it's in Nashville with game day with the entire Aviance. Vanderbilt wins by 7. In what will be an exciting football. It'll be a very exciting football game. Very exciting. These 2 schools, they've usually played close games over the years, especially in Nashville. But I just like where Vanderbilt's going right now, and I like them to win by 7 in a tough, physical, Diego Pavia type game.
Gotcha. Right now, BYU, it looks like the leader in the Big 12 conference with Texas Tech losing last week. Real quick, Kerry, BYU at Iowa State. Who do you got?
I like BYU. I love their mental toughness. They know how to bounce back. And I expect them to bounce back with a big win at Iowa State. Iowa State has suffered some injuries to key positions, and I don't think they're equipped to deal with BYU's physicality, especially on the defensive line. BYU's defensive line is just relentless, and they'll come after you. And I like BYU to win by 7. I think it's going to be a tough environment, but BYU handles tough environments very well. They will win by 7.
I like that pick. 2 pair. Who you got? The Clones or the Cougars?
Man, I am going to take BYU. From what Ohio State showed me against like Colorado, I feel like they're not as what I thought they were to be. Like I could be wrong, but I like BYU in this game over Iowa State.
Love you both, but not so fast, my friends. I like this upset. I've been looking at this one. I think BYU is going to be coming off of the high from winning the Holy Bowl last week. Is that what it's called? The Holy War?
Yeah, the Holy
Utah?
Bowl out
Yeah,
Utah.
really tough, good game last week that nobody really talked about, that was late. But I think that going on the road, I think that Matt Campbell always is a really well-coached team, always pulls out a victory that nobody gives them a chance. It has all the markings of an upset on Fox. Give me Iowa State with a last-second field goal that wins the game. So Iowa State upsets BYU, and I think that's going to be the undefeated that falls this week. So A&M at LSU. Listen, this is put up or shut up time for LSU. I like Mike Elko and the Aggies. I just think that it's their time to finally get it done against LSU. Like you said, it's been 0-8 that since they've been in the SEC. They get it done Saturday night in the Bayou. Give me the Aggies to win. So, what do you got, Two Pair?
Man, I feel like Texas A&M might do this because there's a lot of pressure on Brian Kelly and LSU, and their backs are against the wall. Texas A&M has just been playing phenomenal complementary football. I like Texas A&M to beat LSU.
Good pick. Kerry, who you got in that one?
It's going to be a great atmosphere down there, Death Valley at night, and I believe Texas A&M gets that first win at Death Valley and gets one step closer to playing in the SEC championship game for the first time in their history. And Brian Kelly, this is Brian Kelly's last stand. This is it. $53 million buyout, be gone or not. You don't win this game especially after the games that you have lost that you could have won. This is one you need.
Yeah.
The fans are going to come out. It's at night. It's Death Valley. I just think Texas A&M has got too much, especially on the offensive side. As good as LSU's defense is, they haven't seen Marcel Reed.
Yeah.
If they think seeing him on film is one thing, seeing him out there in public is going to be a completely different another. He is.
Absolutely.
That kid is just so multi-talented, and nothing phases this kid. Nothing.
Yeah.
I think Texas A&M wins by 7 points.
Another big key Big 12 game, Houston at Arizona State. Arizona State coming off of that big upset against Texas Tech. Who you got in this one? It's the 8:00 game on Fox.
I like Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like the way they've been playing lately. They've pulled off some games.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled off some games. The Texas Tech game. Didn't see that happening, but I like what they're doing right there at Arizona State, man. Give me Arizona State.
Good pick. I like Arizona State in this one too. I just think that they lost a couple of tough games that could have gone either way. Their quarterback got hurt. He's fine now. And I think that you're seeing this is the team that everybody was kind of predicting would be the Big 12 potential representative again for the second year. They're very well coached, and give me them over Houston. Kerry, who you got in that one real quick?
Give me Arizona State over Houston. The better team will win this game, and that's Arizona State.
Gotcha. Well, last but not least, I know that a lot of us are disappointed with how Tennessee played last week against Alabama, but there's still a lot to play for. Tennessee may not be in the SEC championship game, but if Tennessee can run the table, there's still a possibility that they can make the playoff just like they did last year. That being said, it is the Bourbon Bowl, as like the Beer Barrel Bowl game, as I'd like to call it. And of course, Kentucky played very hard last week, fell short against Texas. I've got the Vols taking care of business up there in the Commonwealth, and I think Tennessee gets ready to go for this big stretch of November for these last 5 weeks. So, who you got, Two Pair, the Vols or the Wildcats?
And I got to take those Vols. I think there's a big bounce back game for them this week. I think they needed to win in Alabama, but I feel like that's a lesson, and they get better this week.
Kerry, who you got?
Josh Heupel is 4-0 against Mark Stoops. In those 4 games, Tennessee has scored 45, 44, 38, 34. That is an average around 37 points, 37 points a game that Mark Stoops, for as great of a defensive coach as he's been, has never figured out how to stop Josh Heupel. It continues Saturday. Tennessee will bounce back. I see a cleaner game. I see Deshaun Bishop running absolutely wild. One thing that Kentucky's defense might be better against the pass, but against the run, they're not going to be able to handle Tennessee's offensive line. I see a bounce back. I see a 10-point bounce back victory, and it could be even more. It depends on how much Kentucky invested in that Texas game. Can they come back and give that same type of energy 2 weeks in a row? It's going to be hard. What's going to make it even harder? A lot of our fans are going to be up at Kroger Field, baby.
I love it.
And they're going to bring it home. And the table running starts Saturday.
I love it. I love it. Great show as always, guys. Real quick, one last plug. Rebels against Carnes Friday night homecoming. Be there 7 o'clock. And also tomorrow night, show up to support the girls behind me. They play the Beard and Lady Bulldogs tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Thursday night, $6 to get in. Let's support them Lady Rebels as they try to make history and win their first ever region championship for girls soccer. So, but two pair, Carrie, the chat box, Shane for being on. I really appreciate you guys. Two pair, if you can close us out as always, baby. Let's throw up that W for the girls and the football team this week. And JV, shout out to the JV. They beat William Blunt 30-0 on Monday. Shout out to you guys as well. So, Wes is doing great things this week, and we got that W up. But two pair, close us out. That's all I got.
Man, I hope you guys enjoy what you listen to, whether it's college, whether it's high school, and just providing a platform of just good conversation on sports. Man, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to Rebels with the Cause each and every week, giving you the best in high school, middle school, and professional sports. Big shout out to Finish the Drill. Big shout out to 332 Studios. Big shout out to Big Facts Sports Network. This is two pair signing off. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
We out.